ESPN College Football, presented by Ram Trucks. And a big night for non-Power 5 unbeatens. A doubleheader coming your way. We start out with 17th ranked SMU visiting Tulane. And up next, BYU and Houston in an all Cougars affair. And we start out with the unbeaten Mustangs against the Green Wave. Of course, nationwide, COVID continues to control the news. Nick Saban testing positive this week at Alabama, but there is still a chance he could be on the sideline for Saturday night's big showdown with Georgia. Postponements around the country include 3 top 10 teams that will not be playing this weekend, including Cincinnati. And of course, for SMU fans, they are anticipating a big showdown next week with the Bearcats due in Dallas to take on SMU Saturday night. I am Beth Mullins, along with Kurt Morris, and Lauren Sisler will be joining us shortly. And a lot going on right now for this SMU program, Kurt, coming off their big win over Memphis. Cincinnati is on deck. So not only are they looking for a 5-0 start and looking for some group of 5 dominance, they may just be the best team in the state of Texas right now.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Beth. This could be the best team in the state of Texas and all of the FBS. And look, you just mentioned it there. They beat Memphis last week, a team that they have not beaten in the Sonny Dykes era. They know what's in front of them. They want to be that group of 5 representative in a New Year's Six bowl, but they got to get the national attention behind them. That's what tonight's really all about in playing against Tulane. They want to show where this team is at, how far it's come so far in the Sonny Dykes era.
Of course, it's all about the air raid attack, and it's led by Shane Buechele, number 2 in the nation in passing yardage.
Yeah, he's a quarterback in which, in a 2020 type year, you need a quarterback like Shane Buechele. He's heady, he's a starter in which, you know what, when things are going wrong, he finds a way to make them right. That's why he's one of the best quarterbacks, I think, in college football. A young, heady Shane Buechele.
And from the veteran to the new guy, Kirk, Tulane's Michael Pratt making just his 2nd career start tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned it, his 2nd career start, but they finally feel like they've got the quarterback for their offense for Tulane. Look, Michael Pratt came in last week, and I know it was a loss against Houston, but he played well. Can he bring what he did in his first start? Let's see what he can do in start number 2. Nice dual-threat quarterback that this offense needs to kickstart.
Undefeated SMU looks a lot like a trap game on the schedule tonight. Can they avoid it in New Orleans? Kickoff coming up. This is the American Conference on ESPN. Yulman Stadium in New Orleans, and the coaches tonight, Sonny Dykes, now in his 3rd season at SMU. They had 10 wins a year ago, and it's a new contract extension for Willie Fritz after back-to-back bowl-winning seasons for the Green Wave. Tulane in the black jerseys, SMU in the all-whites. They won the toss and deferred. So the Tulane offense will have the first crack at it. And a return out to about the 23-yard line. Let's check in now with the 3rd member of our group today, Lauren Sisler in the Wave of Change.
Yeah, Beth, in the offseason, the Tulane football team formed a committee to bring equality and social justice to the forefront. The committee made up of black players, white players, freshmen through seniors, and they're calling it the Wave of Change. And you'll notice on the back of their jerseys, they've replaced the nameplates, signifying unity and positive change they hope to promote within their program and right here on the national stage.
Thank you, Lauren. They will work out of the empty set on first down, and pressure coming from SMU, and they get the sack. Richard McBride, last year's top tackler, the senior from Troy, Alabama, and immediate pressure here, Kirk.
Yeah, it's immediate pressure, but Richard McBride, he doesn't get blocked. That's probably the easiest sack he'll have in his college career. Nobody blocks you. You just go out and sack the quarterback. But you can see early on Tulane spreading things out, trying to get some early quick throws for the quarterback.
They'll go to the ground on 2nd down, and a short game for Stefan Hutterson. It's going to be somewhat of a running back by committee. Both of these teams already early in the season have lost their top tailbacks. Tajay Spears out with the ACL injury. So we'll get a steady dose of Hutterson and Amari Jones. Cameron Carroll is a freshman who will have to step into a much larger role. And it's 3rd and 14, just 26% this season on third downs. And more pressure and a second sack in the first possession of the game for this SMU defense. And it's Paul who gets the takedown, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, just an outstanding move on the outside by Paul, but this is what Tulane does not want their young freshman quarterback to be in. 3rd and 14, having to look down the barrel of the defense, just not enough time. This defense of SMU hungry, coming off the edge with a big sack early on.
Punting unit on for the Green Wave. And the ball is loose at the 45-yard line. And Tulane has it. And a miscue by TQ Jackson, the freshman who was back deep. And the Green Wave get the turnover.
This just looks like, to me, just a muff punt back there. Understanding that TQ Jackson, remember, his first time playing last week, he just got eligible to transfer from Arkansas. So his first opportunity going back to receive the punt. And all of a sudden, as a punt return, you feel just a little bit of traction. Someone right next to you. And that time, TQ couldn't corral the football. Now, right back to Tulane.
They will start out in SMU territory. And out into the flat for Amari Jones. Good out of the backfield, a good receiver too, the junior out of Frisco, Texas. Can they cash it in? Remember, they had 5 takeaways last week in the loss to Houston. Actually, their defense scored a couple times for them. And now the special teams coming through. Hutterson and Jones both in the backfield now with Pratt. Play action. And down inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. Mikael Jones making the play.
Yeah, you get the turnover, Beth. You get the beads, right? At Tulane, you get the turnover beads. You put them on, let everybody know you made a big play. But when you think about this 3rd down, 3rd and 1, different than the first 3rd down for Tulane. 3rd and 14, 3rd and 1 is where this offense wants to be at. It gives them an opportunity to not only, if they want to throw it, possibly they can do it on this side of the field, but also they want to keep these 3rd and shorts for their quarterback, Michael Pratt.
And they do pick up the 1st down to the 30-yard line with Stephon Hutterson, the senior out of Petal, Mississippi. 44 carries in the 4 games prior, but again, with the loss of Tajay Spears, an opportunity for other guys to step up in the backfield, and it's 1st and 10. Pratt, play action, has a man downfield, into the end zone, and the touchdown to Jones. And the Green Wave able to capitalize on the SMU miscue.
Wow, what a throw, Beth. When you think about this, you get one-on-one on the outside, 1st and 10 play, you just got the 1st down, and you just throw the ball up. And Michael Pratt, you talk about throwing a dime. That ball was right where it needed to be, right on the money. That ball just jumped right into the arms of Michael Jones. That is a big-time throw by the true freshman.
Extra point is good from Marek Glover. And Tulane jumps in front of Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by Ram Trucks. Impressive for Michael Pratt, 3 for 3, 40 yards on that drive. They got to work with the short field and doing something that no one has been able to do through the first 4 games. Kirk, look at that, the first touchdown allowed by the Mustangs in the first quarter this year.
Yeah, SMU usually is the one jumping out to the big leads early in the first quarter, but this time Tulane getting points off turnovers. That's what you need. That's why you got a smiling freshman quarterback at Michael Pratt a little bit earlier, taking advantage of the early turnover by SMU.
That's why you had the cardboard cutouts. It looked like they were actually cheering behind the SMU bench. They're applying the pressure. Family and friends have been invited to enjoy the game today. Good coverage again by the special teams unit as Danny Gray is taken down inside his own 10-yard line.
Beth, I've always told you about Friday nights, right? Friday night games, just something the way the ball bounces. It bounces differently. That time, Danny Gray does not corral it, and what should have been a nice, healthy return for SMU, now they're starting inside the 10-yard line. You got to regain the focus. Guys off a little of their routine. Friday night football, a little bit different than what we're normally seeing on Saturdays.
Good coverage there by Marvin Moody. And here's our first look at Shane Buechele, the experienced quarterback out of Arlington, Texas, the Texas transfer. In his second season now, getting the job done at SMU. They'll go on the ground with Ulysses Bentley. Shane hitting on 68% of his passes. He's averaging over 330 yards per game. And that huge game against Memphis, a career high in their upset win of the Tigers their last time out. And a first down run here for Bentley. We mentioned that Tulane is without its top tailback. So is SMU. TJ McDaniel, an ankle injury against Memphis last week. And they are also without Reggie Robertson, their top receiver. So other guys an opportunity to step up here tonight to help out Shane Buechele in this offense.
Yeah, it's one of those things now. You got to rely on the next man up. Next man up mentality. That's what SMU has been known for, just putting guys in situations. Hey, look, one guy goes down, you got to find a way to start making plays.
Players were engaged in action. First down.
Anthony Calabrese, our referee. Jeff Akers, the umpire tonight. Jack Winter handling the replays.
I think that was a good no call too there, Beth.
Yep.
You got both guys jockeying. The running back puts a hand on the face mask. The defender's trying to bring a guy down. Good no call, but already you've seen two successful runs by SMU offensively, establishing the run game early.
They have a terrific offensive line, a lot of experience and continuity, and that first pass attempt broken up. Henry got a hand up there. Here is what will be absent, unfortunately, for the rest of the season. Robertson at wideout, McDaniel out of the backfield.
Yeah, but I think Robertson's one of the best, I think, in the country, right? He's a guy who's a home run hitter. You're talking about a big-time player, 50 yards, 60 yards, 70-yard touchdown. He can score at any point on the field. That's going to be a big loss for the SMU offense.
Buechele on second down with time and first down yardage again. And look at this after the catch from Kylan Granson, the senior tight end out of Austin, takes it across midfield.
Yeah, he's missing his running back. He's missing a wide receiver, but he does have his blanket, his security blanket, Kylan Granson. That's just one of the big plays that this tight end has really shown throughout the season so far, Beth. They can line him outside. They can line him inside. That time, Granson is a mismatch. They find a way to get him isolated. A nice throw from Buechele for the big gain.
43 yards down to the 32-yard line of Tulane. Danny Gray is the motion man, and he'll get it here on the jet sweep. Good stiff arm inside the 20 with first down yardage, diving for the pylon. Did he stay in bounds? They are going to say yes, he did. Touchdown, Mustangs.
You talk about blocking, right? Watch number 83, Kylan Granson, a nice block. Remember, he made the big catch to set up the play, and then all of a sudden he returns the favor by blocking for Danny Gray. An outstanding job of blocking up front, and Danny Gray reading his blocks, getting all the way to the end zone, outstretching for the touchdown. That is how you respond to a score from Tulane. Good job by the SMU offense.
One of the top special teams guys in the country now, Chris Nagar, the grad student out of Arlington, Texas. Another UT transfer who has found a home, has been kicking it real well, including the game-winning field goal in their victory over Memphis. And he will add the extra point. Chris also handles the punting duties for the Mustangs. All even, it's 7 apiece, Kirk.
It's how you got to do it. You got to respond Tulane, they score. SMU says, hey, hold on. Give me just a little time. We'll come back. We'll score our own touchdown. Mustangs tying it up.
ESPN College Football is presented by Ram, built to serve.
Tied at 7, SMU and Tulane. Had an impressive response for the Mustangs. 9 plays of 40-plus yards this season, and the big play on that scoring drive was Buechele to Granson for 43 yards. The catch and the run for the big tight end to set up the score. And that's one of the things that the Green Wave was concerned about, the big play capabilities of Buechele in this offense, even without 2 of their top guys. Capped off by the 32-yard run for Danny Gray. Getting you started to the weekend with our doubleheader tonight, and a good one from the SEC tomorrow afternoon, 4 Eastern on ESPN, 11th ranked Texas A&M and Mississippi State. We got more air raid coming your way with Mike Leach and the Bulldogs, and of course for Texas A&M, a lot of momentum coming off their big win against Florida last week. Kellen Mond, another terrific afternoon. That's back-to-back games now, Kirk, with 3 TD passes. He helped set up the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, you talk about Kellen Mond. I feel like he's been at Texas A&M for about 8 years. But look, the big win last week, taking down Florida. Outstanding job by Mond the last couple weeks.
Amari Jones gets the first down carry for Tulane in the all-black jerseys. And as Lauren Sisler reported, the wave of change on everybody's nameplate, wanting to bring more awareness to social injustice and inequality. Off the play action, and Pratt finding Jones, breaking a tackle. And Amari Jones showing us his ability to pick up extra yardage after the grab.
It's just his ability to make guys miss. It's just a nice throw from Pratt. Jones catches it, and just watch how he breaks tackles. This is one of the reasons why they want to get him the football a ton tonight.
Collects 26 yards, and it's back down to the ground game. For the Green Wave, before the injury to Spears, they were the top rushing team in the AAC. In fact, 9th in the country coming into today's game at about 240 per night. So that has been their bread and butter, and now making some adjustments. With Spears out, with youngsters now at tailback and at quarterback. Pratt, some good poise in the pocket, and finds his guy, Fat Watts, into the red zone for the Green Wave.
You're just seeing how different this offense looks, Beth, right? With Michael Pratt, he's more of a pro style and a dual threat quarterback at the same time.
That one's going to come back with the holding penalty.
But you like the rhythm in which Michael Pratt plays with, and the way the offense is now being ran under Will Hall, the offensive coordinator. This is what they envision. So many times you hear Willie Fritz and you think of the triple option, you think of the rushing attack. But Michael Pratt, we've seen so far, they're not afraid to let the young true freshman put the ball in the air. He's making great decisions over the first couple games, and that's the reason why they have so much trust in their quarterback.
4 for 4 for 66 yards to start, but now looking at a 2nd and 18 as Jones will join him in the backfield. And off the pump, we'll throw that one out of bounds behind the Tulane bench. Let's check in with Lauren Sisler.
Yeah, guys, Coach Fritz joked with us saying he was really glad Michael Pratt's mom didn't call him after he got his first start in the Houston game. He was thrust into some tough situations, but really held his composure and made some big plays, like you said, Kirk. This coaching staff is really high on Pratt's abilities, despite being a true freshman.
Looking at a 3rd and 18 here. Of course, he took over the job from Keon Howard, who started the first 3 games, and then Pratt stepped in. Had a rushing and a scoring touchdown in that first appearance as a starter, and he's hauled down here. 3rd sack already of the first quarter for SMU. This time it's Wiley with the takedown, Gary Wiley, and it's 4th down.
I'm not sure what happened here, Beth. I don't know if it was Wiley who just read the play or was a mistake between Michael Pratt and Cameron Carroll. It was be a fake to Carroll, but it seemed that Michael Pratt held on to the football, so might have been a misread there by the young quarterback on the 3rd and long, and Wiley, he doesn't care. He just finds the football and brings it down. Big play for SMU getting off the field.
Punt is away, and that will head out of bounds, and that could set up the Mustangs nicely. They'll have it at the 26, and we'll get another look at Shane Buechele and one of the top offenses in the country.
Back here at Yulman Stadium, score tied 7-7, SMU and Tulane. And look, the SMU offense, yeah, they're down a couple starters, but they still got the tight end. I think one of the better tight ends in all of the country in Kylan Granson. He's a mismatch nightmare already, a big 43-yard gain, and then what he does best, I think, blocking on the outside, creating a touchdown lane for Danny Gray, number 83. You're going to see him all over the field today, lined up at tight end, wide receiver, Kylan Granson, the big play threat now for this SMU offense.
All even at 7 apiece. Ulysses Bentley with the carry. Only 6 plays so far in this quarter, but they have been able to gash this Tulane defense, led by Granson. It's going to be critical for Tulane. Their pass defense has been porous, so they've got to figure out ways to get some pressure. The goal for defensive coordinator Jack Curtis was try and get Buechele to hang on it just a second longer so they could get to him. Almost had the pick on the outside as Shane threw it into double coverage. And it's going to be 3rd down and 3.
That time, Dorian Williams, the outside middle linebacker for Tulane, he was right there. These linebackers for Tulane, they rotate. They got about 3 or 4 different guys that they can put out there. And this is one of the things that Tulane defensively, they got to make sure that they get some turnovers, create turnovers, and keep the offense of SMU on the sideline. That time, Williams almost with an interception.
Tyler Page is the motion man. Buechele looking deep down the near sideline, puts it up for Danny Gray. And they say he did come down with the catch, and another big play for SMU.
This is one of the reasons why you got to love Shane Buechele. Just watch the ball placement from the quarterback. He puts it to the outside where only his guy can go get it. Danny Gray with an earlier rushing touchdown we saw, this time showing off the hands, going up and getting it at its highest point. That's a terrific throw from Buechele, but great catch by Danny Gray.
Another play of over 30 yards, 1st and 10 from just outside the 35-yard line for SMU. Buechele again quick on the release, looking to the edge, and he threw it that way, and Rashee Rice ran the other way. 2nd down.
Whenever you see the one-on-one on the outside, that's what Shane Buechele and Garrett Riley, offensive coordinator, that's the look they want. Anytime that they get that one-on-one, they feel like their offensive weapons are better than the Tulane's weapons. And just sometimes just give them a chance. And that's what Shane Buechele has done so far, not only this season, you're seeing it so far in this game.
Garrett Riley, who grew up around the air raid in his first year as the offensive coordinator, will run it again with Bentley. Riley replacing Rhett Lashley, who worked with Shane Buechele last year under Sonny Dykes and has since moved on to help De'Aaron King at Miami. Garrett with App State a year ago, trying to build off of what was a school record last year for SMU, 42 points per game, nearly 500 yards of total offense per game. And what Sonny Dykes really liked about him was his familiarity and that sense of family he brings. Sonny Dykes and Lincoln Riley go back a long way. Looking for another 3rd down conversion here, and the Tulane defense will hold as once again Buechele was looking for Granson. Good coverage from Macon Clark, who does have a couple of interceptions on the season, including a pick 6 in their Houston game. And that will send Buechele to the sideline, and the punting unit will come on. Excuse me, the kicking team will come on. Chris Nagar with an opportunity for a field goal of 48 yards. He's 7 for 7 on the season with a long of 46. So this would be his best effort of the year. And on a very gusty day in NOLA, that kick is good. And SMU with the 10-7 lead, 5:32 to go here in this first quarter. Let's take a look at tonight's Player Spotlight, brought to you by Rocket Mortgage. And Nagar last week, 3 of 3 against Memphis, including the game winner in their upset. He was the American Athletic Conference Special Teams Player of the Week. Walked on at SMU.
That's a weapon right there. That is a weapon for Sonny Dykes, Beth. I'm telling you. You think about this program the last couple years, they were trying to find a kicker. They could not find one. Sonny Dykes had to also find ways to be more aggressive. But then he goes out and gets Nagar, and not only does he kick field goals, what else does he do, Beth? He does kickoffs, he does punts, he does it all. He's an All-American special teams player.
Gets them the lead after falling behind Tulane early. Another long kickoff, and before the offense comes out, here's Lauren.
Yeah, guys, after that last drive busted for Tulane, the offensive line coach came over and said, we have to be loud and we have to communicate. It starts with communication and doing your job. He was pretty fired up. He said, let's go out and put some points on the board. And afterwards, Pratt was over there doing some of the same thing, giving those guys affirmation. And you can tell that Pratt, even though he's a freshman, has a lot of respect from his teammates.
Yeah, trying to be their leader, trying to help them find some consistency. And here he is on the rollout, looking downfield. And that attempt incomplete, looking for Amari Jones. It's been so much of a roller coaster ride for Tulane. In their 2 wins, they had to overcome double-digit deficits. In their 2 losses, they blew double-digit leads. So one of the things that Willie Fritz was talking about is, hey, let's get the full game, the full 4 quarters under our belts here. Big stick by the SMU defense. Yeah, that's going to set up a 3rd down. They were all over it.
Yeah, you just got to watch
Robinson
number
and
11.
Phillips in there.
Yeah, Chevin Calloway, number 11. He'll flash right here on your screen. Puts down. You got to wrap up, but a nice little hit from Callaway, keeping this Tulane offense in 3rd and long situations. This is what SMU wants. They want to keep the young quarterback in 3rd and 10 plus and allow the rush to get free.
One of the best rushing teams in the country, held to -3 yards on the ground so far in this first quarter. Passing situation here, and on the scramble, Pratt tried to get there himself. And excellent job on the defensive effort there. Shane Haley forces the punt.
It's a great call by Shane Haley. By Kevin Kane, the defensive coordinator. He put Shane Haley, number 9, the linebacker. He puts him in what they call a little bit of a spy technique. Okay, so with the spy technique, he's going to keep an eye on Pratt. Anytime that he breaks contain, you have someone right there. That time it was Shane Haley making a nice open field tackle and getting the defense off the field.
Second 3 and out forced by the SMU defense. And TQ Jackson telling everybody to stay away from that one, and a flag comes out late. We've got a penalty on the punt. Let's see if TQ and Tyler Page get a little more run here. Danny Gray was banged up on that last series when he made that diving catch deep downfield. Awaiting word from Calabrese.
Receiving team, number 8, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
It's going to be on Brian Massey. Well, we mentioned the potential
So not only a big play threat for the offense out, but also a senior, a leader.
Yeah, he was he was number 2 in FBS in receiving yardage, and he was a favorite target for Shane Buechele. Good news is Danny Gray is back out there for SMU. They'll run it with Tyler Levine. So in the backfield, Levine and Tamarick Williams, 2 kind of battering ram running backs, and then Bennett is the opposite. He's the explosive runner, so a good little yin and yang that they can run out of the backfield for SMU, Kirk.
Yeah, anytime you got some big running backs at 220 and 235 pounds respectively, those are downhill runners. So that's the kind of mix that they'll have in this rushing attack for SMU.
Boy, and you just saw the advantage on the grass there for the SMU run game. 62 yards so far. They're going to get flagged for the false start here. I think it was on Rashee Rice, the wide receiver. As you see some of those big guys in front of Buechele, Thomas and Howerton, Ali, Osborne, and Morris, a real experienced group. Terrific chemistry. What Sonny Dykes and Garrett Riley really like about that group in protecting Buechele. They'll step up and toss it deep down the middle, incomplete. Looking again for Granson across midfield. What you got for us, Lauren?
Yeah, Kirk, you know, you share the same sentiments on Robertson that Buechele shared with me on our phone call earlier this week. He says he's one of the most explosive guys in college football, and his season-ending injury definitely hurts the team. He did say that he likes the way guys like Danny Gray, Tyler Page, Rashee Rice, and Kylan Granson are stepping up and raising their level of play in Roberson's absence, as well as TJ McDaniels.
Looking at a 3rd and 14 here. Thank you, Lauren. Buechele setting up the screen, and good pursuit coming from behind to get the takedown. That was Cameron Sample. His defensive line, they've been starters together now. 114 combined starts for Sample and Johnson and DeAndre Williams. They come up with the stop there to force the 4th down.
Yeah, you talked about it, Beth. It's the experience along the defensive front. Cameron Sample, number 5, he's going to play on Sundays, and that's one of the reasons why. His experience of knowing the down and distance at 3rd and 14, that, hey, they're not probably going to take a shot down the field. He goes and sniffs out the screen for a big play for Tulane.
A chance here for Amari Jones, and he will get run out of bounds around the 25-yard line, and that's where Tulane will get it back. 1st and 10, 2:09 to go in this first quarter. And a big night and a big weekend for some of the non-Power 5s. Cincinnati had their game postponed. They are supposed to be playing in Dallas against SMU next Saturday night in prime time. And of course, one of the big shockers for a lot of people around the country, how about the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina? They may take over the Ragin' Cajun spot in the rankings after the upset of Louisiana on Wednesday night.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Beth. Go ahead and rank them. Rank Coastal. They're ready. Rank them now. Rank them. Rank them.
That's a great story in the Sun Belt. They were picked dead last, received the fewest votes in the preseason poll, and now they find themselves in the driver's seat. And a chance to move into the national rankings. That was their first win over a nationally ranked opponent. And for SMU, coming off their big win against Memphis last time out and getting ready for Cincinnati next week. Looking to stay focused here in New Orleans today. And Tulane's going to pick up the 1st down. Going to their tight end, Tyreek James, the sophomore out of Waco, his 5th catch of the season. Playing a little faster tempo. Pratt's 5 for 7 through the air, and they have yet to establish their vaunted ground game. Cameron Carroll, his 8 touchdowns lead the American Athletic. Just a freshman out of Mississippi.
One of the things that you see early on, Beth, is just sort of the rhythm that they're playing with. They're getting Michael Pratt, the quarterback, a little bit on the move, right? Bootlegs, waggles. They're going to try to get him out of the pocket. I think that's where he's at his best, keeping his eyes downfield, getting him and finding a new launch point and allowing him to let his athleticism take over.
Out of the backfield looking for Stephon Hutterson. Appeared to go through his hands, and it's going to be 3rd down and 10. And struggling a bit right now without that running game that they rely so much on. 5 carries already in this quarter where they have been 0 or negative on the ground.
Third and 10 here, same thing. It's the same thing. He's going to look to his left, try to find something. If not, come all the way back to the wide receiver lined up on the right.
A little option here for Pratt. Takes a hard hit and goes down at the 41-yard line. And the SMU defense takes care of business.
That's SMU defense taking care of business on 1st and 2nd down, Beth. You mentioned it. You get into a 3rd and long, there's not a lot of plays that offensive coordinators want to put their quarterback in. That time, they just go with the option look, but I don't know how many times I want to put my quarterback in that situation to taking a big hit early on.
Well, defensive coordinator Kevin Kane for the Mustangs, so much fun to talk to during this week. What did he tell us? I want us to crush the line of scrimmage, and so far they have been able to do that. The one blemish, the nice throw from Michael Pratt for the touchdown. Sonny Dykes patrols that sideline. He's done a terrific job. That was an historic season a year ago with 10 wins, their best since 1984. That, by the way, is also the last time that the Mustangs won a conference championship. So that's another thing on their wish list. Off to the 4-0 start this season. Good punt. Will chase Jackson back inside his own 10-yard line. He's going to take a go at it, and the freshman is hauled down at the 5-yard line. Aggressive on the special teams and costly.
This is the 2nd time so far, Beth, that Jackson, TQ Jackson, the freshman, redshirt freshman, has sort of made a blunder, right? You field that ball all the way inside. You should just either get a fair catch or let that ball go. And I tell you, that's what the coaching staff is telling him right now. Hey, son, I know you want to make a play. I know you're ready to go. You know, this is an Arkansas transfer, but hey, understand the situation and understand where you are. That's what the coaching staff has to be telling him, because that's his 2nd mishap that he's had so far in this game.
SMU will try and run it right up the middle. Let's see if they'll even run another play here before the end of the quarter. And the 10-7 lead on the Danny Gray touchdown run and the Chris Nagar 48-yard field goal. And they will get the snap off. Buechele play action from his own end zone. And it's caught out across the 10-yard line. Rashee Rice. Looks like they'll spot him right around the 12-yard line as the first quarter comes to an end. Undefeated SMU out to the 10-7 lead, trying to get to 5-0 in back-to-back seasons for the first time in 37 years. Behind the play of Shane Buechele and company.
Football playoff lives on ESPN.
10-7 SMU, the lead over Tulane as we get set to start the 2nd quarter. Of course, the semifinals are back to the Rose and Sugar Bowl on New Year's Day this year with the championship in Miami. Just 1 yard rushing for Tulane in that first quarter. 146 yards for SMU, looking for a 3rd down conversion. And Danny Gray with the broken tackle gets out closer to midfield and a 1st down.
Yeah, we know Reggie Robertson's out for the season, but who's going to be the guy to step up? And right now, it's been Danny Gray, the junior from Dallas, so far, the rushing touchdown. But him on isolation one-on-one, he seems to be the guy that Buechele is looking at every single play on 3rd down.
Danny now a couple catches, 54 yards. He also had the jet sweep touchdown run back in that first quarter. Junior out of Dallas. He was the guy that was being vocal this week, Kirk, about, hey, rest of us got to pick it up now. We know Reggie's not going to be around. and has taken over kind of the leadership role for that wide receiver unit. And a whistle here before the snap. Microphone was muffled on that one.
Yeah, I think they're going to probably, I believe, they're trying to take a
I think they might be looking
replay.
at a targeting here.
I know I didn't see anything at the my initial look on the play. So this may be generated from the replay booth up top, if it is something considering targeting.
Jack Winter is the replay official. John Salmon, the communicator.
Or a lot of these situations too, Beth, it's, you know, third down, and then all of a sudden you may have too many men on the field. So I didn't get what the official was saying at first, so I know we'll get the call in a second.
No communication from the officials or the referee. Well, the team's looking on just as much as we are. There still can't quite figure out what that was from the referee, but SMU's headed back out there. Tulane is ready to go. And on 2nd and 11, Ulysses Bentley will be the offset back here from their own 34-yard line. Out of the gun, under pressure, passes away, incomplete. Good job that time with some heat off the edge trying to get after Buechele. Looked like that was the Joker, Patrick Johnson, the senior out of Chattanooga.
There you go, Beth. You got it right. It is the Joker. He's coming from the right side of the screen, and he's a guy that they have to figure out how to block. Patrick Johnson. One of just creates havoc on that defensive front for Tulane. You got to find a way to either keep an extra guy in because he can play in the backfield the entire game. SMU needs to add somebody to get him locked up.
Pass across the middle and caught. Tyler Page stays on his feet. The cutback inside the 25-yard line. And yet again, another huge play. That is the 5th pass of the day already for Buechele of over 20 yards.
That's the thing about Shane Buechele. If you want to run an option route, Shane Buechele can read the defense just as fast as he can find a way to find the leverage of a defensive player. If a defensive player plays to the outside, he'll throw it on the inside, and that's what Shane Buechele saw with Tyler Page, that one-on-one, and Shane Buechele leads. He leads his receivers. That's one of the things, his pinpoint accuracy. That's why this offense is so potent when you got a senior quarterback who understands where the ball needs to be.
41 yards to Page. The first down pass incomplete. They'll go with 2 tight ends here on 2nd and 10 and run it with Ulysses Bentley, the redshirt freshman out of Houston. Averaging over 100 yards per game. He picked up a ton of yards in their non-conference games. It's been a bit tougher sledding in the league, but how about a 227-yard effort against North Texas, the 4th best in SMU history. And tonight averaging over 5 per carry.
Third down here, Beth. Watch the tight end. We talked about him a little bit earlier. Kylan Granson, number 83. He's the guy that they've lined all the way up.
Buechele. Down he goes, and the sack for Tulane to force the 4th down. Looks like Jeffrey Johnson He had the fumble recovery for a touchdown in the Houston game last week.
This sack was created by Patrick Johnson on the outside. Again, number 7, we were just talking about it. Shane Buechele feels the pressure from Patrick Johnson and has to step up. And when he does step up, he gets sacked by the other Johnson, like you mentioned, Jeffrey Johnson. But again, it's Patrick Johnson. We just talked about him a little bit earlier. The pass rusher getting to the outside, forcing Buechele to step up. And he stepped up right into the teeth of the defense.
The Gar has a 48-yard field goal already on the books today. This from 45. And he hooked it. That is no good. The first miss of the season for Chris. And it remains 10-7 Mustangs. They've tried twice during the pandemic to get together, postponed. It's finally gonna happen tomorrow night. Coverage begins 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. Lomachenko and Lopez in a huge showdown we'll have for you tomorrow night in the ring from Vegas. We are early in the second quarter. SMU undefeated with the 10-7 lead over Tulane.
Yeah, and Tulane tried to come out with the razzle-dazzle, but this time Turner Cox, number 97, the defensive end outside linebacker for SMU. He's just playing what he's supposed to do, his responsibility. When disciplined players play their position, the big plays come to him. That was a great play by Turner Cox, just playing his spot, making a play.
Junior out of Dallas. Trevor Denbo coming off the edge. Good pass protection pickup to buy some time for Pratt. Down the far sideline, and the catch is made out across the 40 to the 41 to Fat Watts. He and his brother Deuce, the twins, playing wideout today for the Green Wave.
Again, you see it getting out of the pocket more for Michael Pratt. Very accurate out of the pocket. They're going to try to do that the entire game, finding him create some lanes for him to throw to with this rush of SMU.
Well, Jacob Robertson saw a ton of daylight, but it may have been because of the penalty behind it. That will be on the redshirt freshman Caleb Thomas, who is making his first start at right guard, replacing Josh Remitich. They also have Ben Knutson at left tackle, replacing Joey Claybrook. So a couple of new guys up front due to injury. Just a couple penalties apiece. And we'll set them back to their own 36, 1st and 15. Pratt, plenty of time against the 3-man rush. He'll tuck it and run. Trying to get to the edge, takes a big hit around the 40-yard line. It was the quarterback trying to hurt the DB, Brandon Crossley.
Yeah, trying to find a way to lower his head, but Crossley says, you want to go out, you want to be a running back, I'll let you know. You better stay in that pocket. That's a nice little matchup between the quarterback and the safety there. That time, the safety won that one.
Crossley says, not on my watch, youngster. Sophomore out of Dallas making the play. Pratt comes right back to find Deuce Watts. So Deuce and Fat out of Richmond, Mississippi, and Petal High School. They don't throw it a ton, but these two could be significant playmakers for them, especially on a day like today, Kirk, where they just are not able to establish a run game thus far.
Yeah, the run game has not been there, but 3rd and 2, I see this ball being still on the ground in the hands of Pratt.
Only 1 of 5 on 3rd down so far in this first half.
Watch the wide side of the field with the quarterback keeping the football.
And around here, 1st down, terrific cutback down inside the 40 for Fat Watts. Fat of the PH variety.
Just a good call there by Will Hall, the offensive coordinator. Looking at what the defense gives them, they had the short corner. They hand it off to Watts and allow him just to find a small crease to pick up enough for a 1st down.
Well, Hall and Coach Willie Fritz, they thought this group was real competitive. A little disappointed to be at 2-2 right now on the season. But the one thing they stress, right, when you talk with Willie is do your 1/11th. And they've got some other guys doing their 1/11th so far on this drive. Back in a moment. Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers may have the Watt brothers, but here at Tulane, it's the Watts brothers, Deuce and Fat, getting it done, Kirk.
Yeah, they're getting it done. Look, these are two guys that, look, you think about they're twins, but yet one is 6'2", 195 in Deuce, and then 6 foot 190 is Fat Watts. They have similar skill set, but they both play off of each other. They both feed off of each other, and they both bring the energy. And you've seen it so far in this game that Michael Pratt, the quarterback, either he's going to find Fat or he's going to find Deuce, but as long as he finds one of those Watts brothers, seems to always have success.
High school together, Pedal High and Richton, Mississippi, Jones College, JUCO, and now here at Tulane trying to help out their young quarterback, and Pratt on the run has to chuck it. Will Jones was one of the first guys there, along with Trevor Denbo. The numbers so far for Pratt. He was an early enrollee. Willie Fritz loves the poise and the toughness that he has brought to the position since taking over the starting job in their last game from Keon Howard. Working out of the pistol on second down, looking for some ground game, and they find some. Big burst, Stefan Hutterson. Their best on the ground thus far.
Watch the block by the Will Wallace, the tight end. He comes all the way back across, and he seals that outside and gets the block that was needed. And that's where the running game did not have last week. It's the great blocking up front, that time utilizing one of the tight ends in Wallace, finding enough of a crease to get this run game where they've been in the first couple weeks of the season.
Pickup of 25 into the red zone. Hutterson again. Look at that effort. Close to the first down marker, down inside the 3.
You're starting to see something, right, Beth? You're starting to see that left side of the offensive line is starting to get some good push on this SMU defense. And Hutterson, what is he doing? Just going north and south. It doesn't seem the east and west has been working, but they get north and south right behind the left guard and the left tackle.
Cameron Carroll is now in there at tailback as Pratt will move under center here, short yardage. And did they draw the defense offside there with the hard count?
Get a half yard closer to that first down marker.
That may just be enough from the 3 down to the 1.5. I was not told that math would be necessary. I think I heard that right. It is offsides. That's going to be on Elijah Chapman, the sophomore in the middle for SMU.
First and goal.
Well, that will get them the yardage, you're right. From the 1.5. 9th play of the drive coming up here. They have finally gotten something going on the ground. Let's see if they stay there. And around, and a big hit at the 1-yard line, denying the end zone. Chevin Calloway with the hit on Fat Watts. That's his second big hit.
Yeah, that's his second big hit because he likes to run the alley. He knew what play was coming. He saw Watts going to the outside, and Calloway just finding a nice little crease and meeting Watts for no gain.
Actually pushed him back a half a yard here. Couple of fakes. The lob into the end zone, out of the side of the end zone, incomplete, and a flag is down. A lot of misdirection in the backfield, and SMU got to Pratt quickly.
Yeah, it was Turner Cox, number 97, again, just playing his position. Let's see what the call is here first.
That's on the DB, Brandon Stevens.
Yeah, they called that one. That was probably a ball that was really uncatchable. You saw Pratt, the quarterback, he just kind of threw it up.
So back to 1st and goal. Pratt will try on the sneak. They're going to mark him short. SMU making a case that they recovered a loose football.
I think they're going to call that his forward progress had already stopped, but if I'm Tulane, I go right back to the same play.
Yeah, 2nd and goal. Pratt again, this little spin move. Still no word from the officials, and there it is, he's in. Touchdown Tulane, and they retake the lead.
That's just a good job there by Michael Pratt. He ran the same play, but this time lean and found just enough. Just find a little bit of a hole and rolls all the way into the end zone. It's a good job by Michael Pratt, but I think go back to the previous play. I thought SMU was more worried about not recovering the football on a possible fumble and not being set. That time Pratt took over and scored a touchdown.
11 plays, 72 yards in 5.5 minutes. And the extra point is good, but there is a flag down.
The extra point is good. After the play, sideline warning against SMU. Timeout.
Michael Pratt making just his 2nd career start, the freshman. A long, sustained drive to grab the lead. Sunset in New Orleans on this Friday night. Doubleheader action with undefeated SMU taking on Tulane. Coming up next, undefeated BYU and the Houston Cougars. That's Cougars on Cougars tonight in the 2nd game. Jason Benetti, Andre Ware, Chris Budden on the call for you. All building towards another big day of action for you on the ESPN networks tomorrow. Starts with Clemson at noon. North Carolina in prime time tomorrow night. And for Shane Buechele, for the 2nd time tonight, they find themselves behind 3 of 7 short yardage and 3 of 6 deep. He has completions of 31, 41, and 42 yards. So that gives him a completion average of 25 yards per pass tonight.
Just goes to show you how big play that this offense is. They can make drives, but it's always the big play, and that's what Tulane was worried about. They want to contain those big plays, but Buechele has been on point so far with those throws over 10 yards.
Got 6 of them over 20, as a matter of fact. He'll look to run it here. Thought he saw some space up the middle. Denied. Last year, an SMU record for Shane, nearly 4,000 yards with 34 touchdowns. Had 3 touchdowns in the win against Tulane a year ago.
Blindside block for 4. After this is goal, remains 1st down.
That's on the wideout Tyler Page with a blindside block. And that will cost them dearly. That'll push SMU back inside the 15-yard line. Looking at a 1st and 21. Buechele looking deep down the middle. Out near midfield, and the catch is made by Rashee Rice. And another big play for Buechele.
Just basically Buechele again on the run, keeping his eyes downfield, but he gets what? One-on-one coverage. And Rashee Rice that time just making a play. Just so many weapons on this offense. So many weapons.
37 yards there, and now the give to Ulysses Bentley. Ulysses averaging better than 5 per carry so far in this first half, and now they're going to pick up the tempo a little bit. Got to give Tulane a chance to get some of their substitutes on. Bentley again. His quarterback Buechele looking for a block downfield, and Bentley is run out. Good block again by Kylan Granson, the tight end.
I just like the vision of Bentley, right? He gets to the outside. He sees, oh, there's nothing there. Let me just keep racing and try to find something. He gets some positive yards, but it was all about the vision. Didn't find an original hole, but created something to the outside, taking over that running back spot for the injured TJ McDaniel.
8 for 47 so far in the half for Bentley. They'll use him in the play action here. Has the time to look downfield, and another completion. This one for a first down to Tyler Page, the senior out of Friendswood, Texas, for 12 yards.
Now you see the rhythm that Shane Buechele is in. They got him on the run earlier, but when he's in the pocket and he has the time, these wide receivers, they don't need much space. All they need to find a way is get a little bit of separation, and where's that football right on a receiver every time. Shane Buechele showing off the accuracy.
Bentley, good push off the edge, and a flag down after the play. DeAndre Williams quickly into the backfield.
Holding, offense, number 71. Fine, open play.
That's not good for Jalen Thomas, that he also got beat by Williams despite the hold.
Yeah, you said it. DeAndre Williams got held and still made the play. Outstanding job of just fighting off the block and then still creating a way to wreak some havoc in the backfield, DeAndre Williams. But that's what Tulane, that's what they want to do defensively. Jack Curtis, they played well against Houston early on, created some turnovers last week, but did not fade. They faded away in that second half, trying to get that same competitive speed up to balance again. Defensively.
Buechele, another deep ball heading to the end zone, incomplete, looking for Rice. Jalen Monroe had the coverage, and a flag down in the secondary here, and Rice and Monroe exchanging pleasantries.
Defense, number 9. 16-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Well, there he is, hands on the receiver, way downfield, and the tackle at the goal line by Monroe. Easy call there for the officials.
Jack Curtis is going to have to figure something out, the defensive coordinator for Tulane, because anytime that Buechele sees the one-on-one, especially outside the hash, over there by the numbers, Buechele's just going one-on-one and throwing the football up. So they may have to switch to some cover two, try to help out these corners one-on-one on the outside.
1st and 10, Buechele again to the air to Merrick Williams out of the backfield. That should be enough right there, I think, to give Shane 200 yards passing in the first half. Coming off of his career high last week of 474 in the Memphis win. Second and 4 just inside the 10. Bentley cut down behind the line of scrimmage. Lost a yard there. Kevin Henry with the nice play, and it's 3rd down.
3rd down, who do you look for? Who do you look for? Who's the go-to guy? 83, Kylan Granson has been that safety net for Shane Buechele, especially at this spot on the field. But they spread the football around, but I keep an eye on number 83, the tight end in the backfield, Kylan Granson.
But this power set alongside Buechele. Looking right the whole way. The fade has it up in the air for Rice. And Rashid brings it down. Touchdown, SMU.
I said it a little bit earlier. They look to the outside and they get one-on-one, and that's just easy. That's just a pitch and catch for Shane Buechele. He throws it up and he allows his 6'1", 189-pound wide receiver to show off the leaping ability. Rice goes up and gets it. We were trying to figure out where would the big plays come from with Reggie Robertson out for the year, and it's been spread through. That time, Rashid Rice saying, hey, don't forget about me. I can make some of those big-time plays.
That one didn't take long. 3 minutes and 43 seconds. They go 75 yards, and Buechele to Rice for 10 to take the lead back for SMU. Back and forth game in New Orleans, 17-14. SMU with the lead over Tulane. You've got the veteran and the youngster at quarterback. So far tonight, Shane Buechele, 210 yards and a touchdown. Michael Pratt, over 100 yards and a touchdown. He's got the touchdown pass as well as a quarterback sneak for a score. SMU 4-0, ranked 17th in the country. Hot on the heels of Cincinnati for the top group of 5 ranking in the country. And a date with Cincinnati next weekend. Let's check into the studio right now with Matt Berry.
Okay, Beth, coming up on the AT&T 5G halftime report, we'll have the latest on the health of Alabama head coach Nick Saban. Plus, how can Georgia take down the Tide on Saturday? And who is BYU's unsung hero? That's in our late game. Jesse Palmer, Joey Galloway join me coming up at the half.
Thank you, Matt. Looking forward to hearing from you and Joey and Jesse. Who is the unsung hero for that BYU team? Is Zach Wilson still considered unsung, or is America up to date?
Got a pretty good quarterback in Zach Wilson.
With a guy hitting on 81% of his passes. And offense is averaging 44 a game. That's on deck, BYU and Houston. Of course, BYU is an independent, so they are not in the mix for the group of 5 bid to a New Year's 6 bowl, but they still could get an invitation as an at-large, and certainly would still be eligible if they can get into the top 4 to be a part of the playoff conversation. The scramble here and the run for Pratt. Looks like they're going to give him the yardage out to the 30. Junior Aho with the stop, and it's a first down. Houston could be a real wild card. They've only played 1 game, a win over Tulane last week. So later tonight, just their 2nd game with Clayton Tune at quarterback. Under 2 minutes to go here in the half. Pratt slings it down the middle, incomplete. How about an update now from Lauren?
Yeah, you know, offensive coordinator Will Hall for Tulane thought he was watching a quarterback that had played at least 25 games at this level a few weeks ago against Southern Miss. He scrambled, made plays under pressure, kept his eyes up. He's doing much of the same tonight. He's excited to see his progression and how far his career can go here at Tulane.
Thank you, Lauren. Pratt on 2nd and 10. Hutterson, another nice run. So the ground game is churning now. The last couple of possessions, a 16-yard gain there for Stefan.
You talk about an offense that's now smiling now. Once they get into that rhythm and they're running and throwing, this is what they envision for Michael Pratt, being able to pick up yards on first down and then let him take off and run.
They have now run for more than SMU here in the first half. Pratt will add to that tally. Shane Haley with the tackle. And an injured player down for the Green Wave with 1:27 to go in the half. Tulane still with its full complement of 3 timeouts. That appears to be the tight end, Tyrick James. Sophomore from Waco.
I think at the end of that play, Tyrick James, who's engaged, getting the block, and then Michael Pratt being tackled, I think that rolled right onto the back of the leg, and immediately you can see James pointing down. Maybe he got an ankle injury, but he's up and walking. gingerly.
He will come to the side on 2nd and 4. Just 1 yard rushing the entire first quarter for Tulane. 79, however, in this second quarter. Trying to take the lead into the locker room. Well, they got work to do. Good second effort. Cameron Carroll. See where they spot him, down around the 40-yard line. Still plenty of time, and the timeouts for the Green Wave. Play action for Pratt. Good blitz pickup, and the deep ball incomplete. He was looking for Deuce Watson, a late flag, right on the heels of the cornerback, Brandon Stevens.
Yeah, that was a late flag, but I think they're going to get some pass interference, I think, by Stevens.
Pass interference. Defense, number 23. 15-yard penalty. Automatic.
It was just, I think, that early grab. He's just got his name.
Oh, he's holding on the whole way down.
Yeah, you got to let the nameplate go at some point, Brandon Stevens. Initially played it well in terms of matching the wide receiver steps, but just got to let go of the hand that was on the back.
That's a big one, 15 yards down to the 25-yard line. They'll run it on 1st and 10. Cameron Carroll takes it out of bounds, 1:02 to go.
I like this drive right now, Beth. I love the drive by Tulane because they're accomplishing two things. They're running the football, they're taking the clock down, but also they're keeping the SMU offense on the sideline. And Shane Bouchel, which we know has been quick strike the entire game so far, keep that offense on the sideline for SMU, run this clock down. A terrific drive so far by Tulane.
We've already had 3 lead changes, and Tulane hoping for a 4th. They've gone almost exclusively to the run on this drive. 2nd and 7 for Pratt. Has to make something happen. And again, able to run out of bounds to stop the clock.
You know, for a quarterback that can take off and run at any point, I love the way the freshman Michael Pratt, the way that he looks and gauges, okay, can I run or can I stay in the pocket? He looks through his progressions. He goes progression 1, progression 2, and when he decides to take off and run, you watch how he tucks the football, get what he can, and then get out of bounds. This is a young quarterback just showing you with the reps and experience that he's getting so far, he's going to be one of the good ones for Tulane.
3rd down and 8 right here. And the catch, going to be close. They're going to mark him out of bounds at the 22-yard line.
It's decision time here, Beth. You mentioned it's decision. 4th and 2 on the road. I mean, you're at home. You got to kick it, right? You got to kick it, get 3. I would say, hey, possibly, hey, go for it. You're at home. Why not go for it here? Try to keep that SMU offense on the sideline. But they're going to go for a field goal.
This will be a 34-yard attempt for Merritt Glover, who's got that one through to even things up at 17 apiece for Tulane. They covered 63 yards in 10 plays to even this thing up. Well, you can kick off your Week 6 NFL Sunday at 10 Eastern with the Countdown crew on ESPN and your ESPN app. Sunday's feature is Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady going head-to-head. It's the 4-0 Steelers and the 4-1 Browns. And then big news for Dalvin Cook and the Vikings. It appears he's out for you fantasy footballers. Madison will take over for him. New England Patriots were not practicing today. Well, how about to the high school ranks? And Newman High School's quarterback, the sophomore Arch Manning, son of Cooper, nephew of Peyton and Eli, grandson of Archie. 3 total touchdowns in a win over Booker T. Washington. He is ranked as the #1 quarterback in the class of 2023. And the 7th best overall prospect, Tom Luganbill and Craig Hobart, wrote a nice article about that. The number 1 prospect, by the way, is quarterback Quinn Ewers from South Lake Carroll High School in the Dallas area. High school that produced Greg McElroy, amongst others.
But the question is, Arch Manning, what school does he go to? Does he go to Ole Miss or will he go to Tennessee? That's the question. At some point, he will have to make a decision, or he says, you know what? I'll go somewhere else outside of the Manning family.
He blazed his own trail.
Wow, I see.
Yes. Well, you know, talked to Tom Luganbill this week. He said he's probably the best athlete of the family, with similar poise to what his famous uncles have shown over the years. That's not a bad passing academy to literally grow up in, the Manning Academy. And a big win for the green and white last night. All right, 42 seconds to play with here for SMU. Can they put some points up before the break? They have just the 1 timeout. Granson will use the sideline to his advantage there. 39 seconds to go.
If you're Tulane, you're keeping everything in front of you. You're going to make sure no one gets behind you deep. You mentioned with the 1 timeout, tackle everything in bounds, but do not let anybody get behind you.
Kicker Chris Nagar has made one from 48, but missed one from 45 here in the first half. And that pass incomplete over the head of Page, so it's 3rd and 5. 285 yards of total offense here in the first half for SMU, and yet Tulane is right there with them, even at 17.
Big 3rd down here. Again, Kylan Granson inside. He's the slot on the 3 by receiver side. Watch the tight end.
They'll run it and get the first down with Bentley. Clock will stop here while they move the chains. No spike. Buechele will run the play. Slings it out towards midfield. Incomplete, intended for Page. Broken up by Langham.
See, last couple plays, you get the run play for a first down. And then they come right back with the pass play with 17 seconds left. Trying to figure out how much more time. With the 1 timeout left, you got to take at least 1 shot at trying to pick up enough yardage to at least get a field goal.
Well, that's a key member of their defense, Cameron Sample, the D lineman. Senior out of Snellville, Georgia, brings so much energy and effort to that defensive unit.
And that's a rarity to see him walk into the sideline. He's a guy that does not come off the field, Beth. He stays on the field. Number 5 will be there play 1 till play 80. He's got that kind of motor.
17 seconds to go with the 1 timeout for SMU. Trying to set up a screenplay, and Bentley hit the deck. And it's 3rd down coming up. Down to 13 seconds to go.
Way to sniffed out the screen by the Tulane defense. Just realizing that Bentley was right there, 2nd and 10 plus. They'll get back on track. Finding a way, just not allowing Bentley to get free. That time Buechele just threw it away. 3rd and 10. See if possibly they try to keep this thing on the ground, force a timeout, and try to get this thing into half.
Bentley gets the edge, gets the first down, but did he get out of bounds? Clock is stopped with 6 seconds to go, and that is the final timeout for SMU. Some of the national news and notes for you, of course, Nick Saban testing positive for COVID-19. Still a chance he could be on the sideline. They're hoping that Saban, who has been asymptomatic, will get 3 straight negative tests and be back on the sideline Saturday night. Of course, the Red River last week, terrific game, but Texas and Oklahoma both out of the poll for the first time since 2014. And we've got Clemson, Georgia Tech for you. ABC at noon tomorrow to begin our coverage. The Tigers with a 36-game regular season win streak, and Trevor Lawrence chasing the ACC record currently held by Russell Wilson. Completions without a pick. 6 seconds to go in the half. Buechele will stay out there. No timeouts remaining for the Mustangs. Quick hitter to the outside, and they will not be able to get to the sideline. Granson held in bounds, and time will expire in the first half. $17 apiece, Tulane and SMU at the break. And now to the studio for our halftime report with Matt Berry, Joey Galloway, and Jesse Palmer.
Beth, thank you. Welcome in.
Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by Ram Trucks. At the half, with SMU set to receive the second half kick, all even. The Mustangs trying to continue that perfect start to the season, but Tulane giving them all they can handle right now in New Orleans. Beth Mowens, Kirk Morrison, Lauren Sisler with you. Our Chick-fil-A first half stats look like this. The running game came back for the Green Wave in that second quarter, and a big display for the SMU offense, Kirk.
Yeah, it's been the big play through the air, and Shane Buechele, the quarterback. It's kind of what you expected with Reggie Robertson was in, but he is out for the season. Where would the offense come from? Who was going to pick it up? And they've spread it all around, whether it's the tight end Granson with the big catch or his blocking, but it has also been the other wide receivers. Danny Gray having a big play. Rashee Rice, the wide receiver as well, the sophomore. Everyone is finding their way within this offense, and Shane Buechele is just picking and darting it through every single guy. Outstanding job so far from Shane Buechele in that first half.
6 plays of over 20 yards, 5 of those passes from Shane to 4 different guys, so they've done it by committee, trying to place Robertson. On the other side, Hutterson, a good first half on the ground, 7 carries, 66 yards, and Pratt with a passing and a rushing touchdown. And as SMU sends the offense out, let's check in with Lauren Sisler.
Yeah, I talked to Sonny Dykes coming out of the locker room. I asked him how his team played. He said terrible, unable to execute. They came out flat, no energy, no effort from them. He said we can't even operate and execute on basic plays on offense. That's not going to win us this football game. We have to make plays if we want to get out of here with a win.
Thank you, Lauren. Wow, well, so Coach was not impressed, Kirk, with the 300-plus yards. Probably because of what he's seeing on the scoreboard right now, a tie ball game. And Buechele will hand it off to Ulysses Bentley to start out this third quarter.
Well, Beth, I said it before to start the game. It's Friday night. It's different, right? Guys are used to the Saturday routine of waking up in the mornings and getting ready for the kickoff on a Saturday. Fridays, it's a little bit different. And you go on the road, no fans. You got to find your own juice. And I think that's what Coach Dykes is talking about. They need to find some more energy along that sideline to get this offense going even more.
On 2nd and 9. Buechele, pressure coming right up the middle, and Shane taken down, another sack, and it's Patrick Johnson again.
I said it earlier, Beth. You better find someone to help block Patrick Johnson. I don't know if they need to get a tight end over there. They need to get an extra back, but you have to find someone extra to keep eyes on number 7, Patrick Johnson.
Second sack for the Green Wave as Johnson moves closer to the all-time school record. He's now just 2 short. With the senior from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Here goes Bentley. Back to the ground on 3rd and 16. They'll get a little bit back, but not enough. And Tulane will send the SMU offense to the sideline. And we're getting back to what Lauren heard from Coach and what you reiterated. So you're telling me that a Friday afternoon in New Orleans can affect your focus, Kirk, a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Affect a lot of
in
focus.
In the Big Easy.
Look, Tulane, and that's the focus that they want to have. A nice 3 and out to start the defensive side of the ball for Tulane coming out of the break.
little happy hour at Yulman Stadium right now for the Green Wave, looking for the big upset. They have not picked up a win against a ranked opponent since 1984. That was against Vanderbilt. Their last ranked win at home, 1979, and that was against SMU. That was the Pittsburgh Pirates' We Are Family fall of 1979. Some company up in Bristol, Connecticut also went on the air, I think, for the first time in 1979. And Kirk was rocking out to his Sony Walkman, which was all the rage back in those days. Playing Pink Floyd's The Wall, or maybe a little Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. Right now, Tulane trying to seize the opportunity and a first down run down inside the 40-yard line.
Nice run by Hutterson. Get to the outside, the right side of the offensive line, starting to get a little bit of push. It's a nice little run to start the drive.
Pratt, incomplete down inside the 15-yard line. Looking for one of the Watts brothers, that's Deuce.
Outside of the big, long touchdown throw earlier, Beth, this offense has been very methodical, which you would expect from a Willie Fritz type of offense, right? It's running the football, running and taking the shots down the field when those opportunities present themselves. But running the football so far that you saw in the first half has really, I think, slowed this game down. Is the reason why Tulane is, I think, right now with this game tied.
Another nice run for Stephon Hutterson. Boy, coming in, we thought Cam Carroll may get the bulk of the carries, but it has been the senior out of Petal, Mississippi that is carrying the mail so far. And the Green Wave continue to move it, knocking on the door of that red zone. Back to Hutterson. He'll pick up a couple of more. Terrific performance from that first quarter on. Remember, they only had 1 yard rushing through the first quarter tonight. They were stymied last week against Houston, and it's been a different story the last quarter plus. A career high for Hutterson is 100 yards. He's almost there, 93 today. Pratt scrambling, extending the play, and then we'll heave it out of bounds.
Beth, that play will go down in the books as an incomplete pass, but this just shows you some of the athleticism of Michael Pratt, right? That play should have been a sack. You run into the running back, and then all of a sudden it's just a free-for-all, but having his eyes downfield, there was no panic in the freshman, throws the ball away, saves some crucial yardage, and now you have a 3rd and 8. That was a terrific play by Michael Pratt because it gives them still that 3rd and 8 opportunity to get a first down here.
They need a conversion. This has been a problem for Tulane through the first 4 games, and not one here. Hutterson inside the 10, breaks a couple of tackles, and hits pay dirt for the Green Wave. As he sets his new career high in rushing, Hutterson also gets Tulane the lead back.
This is all about vision. Watch the vision of Hutterson. He's going toward the left, but he puts that left foot in the ground, cuts it all the way back. The pressure he put on the defense in cutting it all the way back, there was nobody home. And then you just allow that body, that 5'9", 200-pound body, hard for a guy to bring down. Hutterson for the end zone. Touchdown.
150. Back to the American Conference on ESPN. First of our doubleheader tonight, Tulane with the lead over SMU, Houston, and BYU are on deck. And a shout out to the big guys up front for Tulane. After just 1 rush yard in the first quarter, they have cranked it up. Stephon Hutterson capping off that last drive with a 22-yard touchdown run. They are known for their ground game, Kirk, and they are showing it right now. And looking for the upset of Tulane of SMU.
Yeah, you think about it, they had 70 yards on the ground last week, Beth. You don't think that they heard about that all week long from Coach Willie Fritz saying, hey, that's the least amount of yards since I've been here at Tulane. We got to figure it out. And so far, the message has been heard by these Tulane Green Wave.
We're starting out the weekend for you. One of the highlights will be tomorrow afternoon. Texas A&M, 11th in the country, taking on Mississippi State. Got some more air raid offense for you, Mike Leach. Of course, Sonny Dykes and SMU, a part of that Hal Mummy air raid tree. And can Kellen Mond and the Aggies keep it going following their big win against Florida last week? We're going to try the reverse here, and they'll throw off it, and wide open at midfield is Rice breaking a tackle. Hauled out of bounds at the 20-yard line, and SMU brings out the trick play. From Bentley to Page, and then Tyler threw it to Rashi for 54 yards.
Well, Beth, could this be the pony special, right? The pony special, similar to the Philly special. Handing it back. The defense is going left and going right, but no one picks up Rice all the way down. The face mask at the end, but a terrific play call. Remember, I just said it. They got to find an energy. They got to find something to get that sideline going for SMU. That's the kind of play right there that can ignite not just an offense, but an entire team. Great execution by SMU.
Longest play of the night for SMU. Add more yardage with the face mask, and it is 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. 54 yards, and now Bentley trying to get to the outside. He'll pick up a few to the 7. Well, we talked a little bit about it, and then Sonny Dykes talked to Lauren Sisler about it at halftime. The trap game on the schedule tonight for the Mustangs, coming off that huge emotional win against Memphis. They land at number 17 in the national polls, trying not to think of a showdown with Cincinnati next week. And Buechele trying to get the offense back on track, incomplete into the back of the end zone, but it looks like they're going to get a pass interference or a holding penalty here.
It looks like Tulane may have had an extra defender on the field running off late as well, so you may have all these penalties on Tulane here.
There are multiple fouls on the play, both on the defense. 12 men on defense, that penalty is declined. Pass interference, defense, number 9. Ball be placed at the 2-yard line, automatic, 1st down.
So the pass interference penalty will set them up with the 1st down. A couple of tight ends in the set here, Granson and McIntyre. They're going to bunch him up on the left side. Bentley will shift over that way, and he'll run it that way. Trying to get the corner, and he does. Touchdown, Ulysses Bentley. And a PAT away from tying it up.
That's just great blocking up front, Beth. The left side of the offensive line, you mentioned it. They had a couple of extra tight ends in there, and Granson, McIntyre, and then you just allow your running back to just get one-on-one. So you get one-on-one right there, you make a guy miss. Just a little high step into the end zone is Ulysses Bentley, but that's what you want. You want to get an overload to one side and get one-on-one with your running back and a tackler, and Bentley that time won that matchup.
Extra point is good from Nagar. Ulysses Bentley caps off the drive. Couple of high steps to the corner, even at 24. Four different lead changes were tied again for the 3rd time, 24 apiece. Undefeated SMU and Tulane tonight in New Orleans, the first game of our doubleheader. I'm Beth Mowens along with Kirk Morrison, Lauren Sisler also on board. We knew coming in about the big playability of Southern Methodist, and they have not disappointed, Kirk.
No, not at all. It's been the ball going in the air, which is what you expect from this air raid type of offense. The only surprise is that they didn't have their big play threat, Reggie Robertson. He's out for the year, but now it's someone else picking it up, and it's been a multiple group of wide receivers taking up and picking up the slack.
And that was 7 plays of better than 20 yards, 3 plays of over 40 yards for SMU. And yet here Tulane is sticking right with them. Tonight's quick delivery is brought to you by DoorDash. If you're scoring at home, it's Buechele to Bentley to Page to Rice for the big play to set up the TD.
Or you can go senior to freshman to senior to sophomore for the big play. And look, this is an igniter for this offense. Get the juices going, and nothing like a big play or a trick play to get that offensive sideline going. You already know this SMU offense doesn't need much, but plays like that definitely can get this offense back on track in the second half.
Yeah, they ran down the field quickly. 3 plays, 75 yards, a little over a minute. And now they are looking to their defense. Incomplete on first down. The last 3 Tulane possessions, touchdown, field goal, and touchdown. They've scored on 3 straight drives, 2 of them 60 yards plus, as they were able to hang on to the ball and work some clock as well.
Yeah, this SMU defense needs to figure it out and put some guys in some extra gaps, because right now Tulane has been finding a little bit of success on that left side of the offensive line. SMU has to figure their rush defense out.
Pratt will hand it off up the middle, legs churning out. Extra yardage, about 5 more here for Hutterson. A new career high for him tonight. On his 12th carry there, he's at 120. And now they're looking at a 3rd and 6. Hutterson will actually stay on the field, line up as a wideout. Empty set. Passes away, incomplete, and it's 4th down. Trevor Denbo had the coverage, and that SMU defense gets the stop they were looking for. One thing you don't want to do playing against an air raid offense like SMU is get a 3 and out and get them the ball right back. Buechele and company scoring on their last possession. He's got the experience in this system, as does his new OC, Garrett Riley, and of course the head coach, Sonny Dykes, as TQ Jackson continues to have his struggles on the receiving end. He'll get back out close to the 10-yard line, but let's visit that air raid offense and a little history lesson. Of course, it all started with Hal Mumme and Mike Leach. They brought it to the Power 5, and then some of the notable coaching accomplices you see. And how about some of the quarterbacks that have been effective running it? Mahomes and Murray, to name a couple. There's Sonny Dykes over there and Lincoln Riley. They were together on coaching staffs in the past, and that was a big reason why Sonny chose Lincoln's brother Garrett as the new OC to replace Rhett Lashley this year. Talked about family, familiarity, and actually growing up in the air raid system. Lauren?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Garrett Riley was familiar with Sonny Dykes and his track record before he took the job at SMU, and really he said it was a no-brainer. Riley said he has been in a lot of great systems, but none that align quite like this one. Philosophically, the two are aligned. How practice is handled, the players, the culture. It's exactly what Riley was looking for.
They'll run it. Bentley.
Yeah, just add on to that.
From Houston.
Yeah, but just adding on to that, when you have a head coach and an offensive coordinator who speak the same language, first time working with each other, it's a lot easier to say, you know what, I like the situation over there. And Garrett Riley, the reason why he took this job is because also remember, he's got a senior quarterback in Shane Buechele. I think a lot of offensive coordinators would love to have a fifth-year senior being able to man the offense for you when you're taking over a new job.
Buechele connects once again with Rashee Rice. 5 catches, over 100 yards now for Rice today. Sophomore out of Richland Hills, Texas. Now on 2nd and 5. Buechele will keep, and he'll get enough for the first down. They have been spreading it around. Rice, the favorite target, but it's been all hands on deck tonight. And Buechele has not been afraid to go looking for different guys. Rice, the intended receiver, flags down 4 black jerseys around him.
The Tulane sideline is thinking that they probably say offensive pass interference, and that's what they get on this one. The ball was just a little bit behind Rice, a little bit underthrown, and that time, that was probably the play of the game so far for SMU, is not allowing that interception by Jalen Monroe. Just a good job by Rice, realizing that the ball's a little bit underthrown and not allowing interception. A lot of awareness on that play.
Buechele only has the 2 picks all season. He has not been as accurate as usual today, 14 for 24 so far. 1st and 25, he'll dump it off for Bentley, and he's cut down at the 15-yard line. Kevin Henry with a big hit in the open field. Grad student from Baton Rouge.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Kevin Henry. Also the grad student coming from Oklahoma State as well, the transfer. This is what he brings to this defense, right? He wanted to come back home to Louisiana and finish off his college career. They said this has been what he's brought, an intensity, but he's also brought some big-time college football right there, showing how to make a play, going inside out, making a tackle, forcing a long 2nd down.
4 tackles, a couple for loss for Kevin today. Out into the flat, his tight end again, Kylan Granson, will chug out across the 20-yard line. Get some of it back for 3rd down. Need to get out to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, 3rd and long here, Beth. This is a long down and distance, 3rd and 21. Obviously, you keep the running back in front of you for the screen play, but if you're SMU, you just want to get half of this back. If you can get all of it, yes, that's fine, but you want to at least get half of this back and put your defense back out there on the field.
Buechele's been terrific on 3rd down tonight. He will drop it off underneath and see if Danny Gray can do the work for him, and Gray's going to get the first down. Breaking a tackle at midfield. Gray inside the 30, and the defender, Monroe, got an angle on him to shove him out of bounds, and another huge conversion, and the big plays continue for the Mustangs.
It was just an underneath route. He lines up at the top of the screen, and then all Buechele does is put the ball out in front, and that's when the athleticism of Danny Gray just takes over and outruns the defense for the big play. I thought they would just get half of the yardage back. Danny Gray picks up all the yardage and some. A terrific play on an underneath route, making a couple guys miss for the big play.
Gray with a rushing touchdown, and now a big play through the air on the receiving end. Another set of downs for Buechele and Ulysses Bentley. Looking for our 5th lead change of the game.
But how demoralizing is that for Tulane, Beth, right? You got everything that you wanted. You got 3rd and 21. You had them backed up. You're ready to get off the field, get the ball back to your offense. And on 3rd and 21, you allow an underneath route to go for a big play. That's devastating for a defense.
Gray joins Rice, over 100 yards receiving tonight. Bentley taken down around the line of scrimmage, so it's going to bring up 3rd down. Kevin Henry, we've been calling his name a lot tonight. That pass play, by the way, to Gray, 61 yards on the receiving end for Danny. Their yards after catch is going to be huge on the stat sheet post-game.
where do you go here on third down? No, 3rd and 5, you still have an opportunity to get the first down. And to me, I'm always looking toward the tight end, especially down here inside the 15.
Buechele looking the other way. Now he'll come back to the right, and he will tuck it and run with it. And it will be a 4th down for SMU. Unable to find the receiver that time open in the end zone. And are they going to keep the offense out there right now?
Ooh, this is a good big decision right here by Sonny Dykes. I think right now he realizes he's got a little bit of momentum, but I think it's kind of hard to turn down 3, right? You gotta, right now, 3 points is huge in a game like this.
464 yards now of total offense for SMU, but Nagar is out there for the 3rd time. He's 1 for 2, both from outside 40 yards. This a 28-yard attempt. And we've got a flag before the snap.
5-yard penalty remains 4th down.
And it's a delay of game on SMU.
Yeah, I think it was the indecision about where they're going to go for it on 4th down or kick it. And that takes a while for the operation, the field goal unit to get out there, get set, get the snap, hold, and kick. That time, I think it was the indecision by Coach Dykes whether to go for it or kick it that caused that delay of game.
So now instead of the 28-yarder, this a 33-yard attempt. And he's got it. SMU grabs the lead, 3:17 to go here in the 3rd. It's all year round, getting ready for Mardi Gras in New Orleans. Mardi Gras World. Oh, it looks like they're ready for Halloween as well. 27-24, SMU and Tulane. 3 ties, 5 lead changes as the 17th ranked Mustangs try to go to 5-0 for the 2nd year in a row. That hasn't happened in 37 years. And meanwhile, Tulane got to go back to 1979 for their last home-ranked win. That was also SMU. Can they get it done again tonight and spoil the Mustangs' plans for a Group of 5 championship? Well, this season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you, Allstate. Beth Mowens, Kirk Morrison, Lauren Sisler with you. First of our doubleheader tonight. Coming up next, BYU and Houston. Jason Benetti, Andre Ware, Chris Budden on the call. That's a Cougars versus Cougars showdown. And 2 programs with the last 2 non-Power 5 Heisman Trophy winners, Kirk Morrison.
Timeout.
Oh,
The last 2 non-Power 5 Heisman Trophy winners, BYU
Would that be
and Houston.
Mr. Detmer and Mr. Ware?
Yes, that would be.
Oh, look at me. Look at me.
1989 and 1990. Yes. Let's go down to the sideline. I know Lauren Sisler's got a guy who's happy to be here.
Yeah, we got our super fan down here. Look, there are fans and then there are super fans. Paul Lane, you can see behind the SMU team bench. The only guy out here, and there's a reason for that, and a lot of special things had to happen for this to be possible. The streak lives on, my friends. 525 games. And, you know, fans were not allowed in the stands. There were family members, but he made a couple phone calls. SMU made a couple phone calls, and they got it done. So the streak lives on. 525 consecutive games, 48 years, and going strong. And it's worth mentioning Paul Lane was a cheerleader at SMU, so his day started back as a freshman, traveling to home and away games. And my friend, he is here.
Social distancing, Lauren, and we did see him a little earlier. He has doubled the masks tonight.
Yes.
Over there with the cardboard cutouts, and that's some fandom, folks.
Yeah, that's dedication, Beth. That is dedication. Good job, Lauren, on finding him, because look, I know it's hard for some fans right now not being there, especially, you know, people who have put so much into these programs.
Pratt got hit on the release, incomplete, and now it's trouble here for Tulane on a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, you get into 2nd and 10 plus, and you get an obvious passing situation, and this is something that SMU, when they know that you're passing, they dial up the pressure. That time it was Trevor Denbo, the middle linebacker, coming on a blitz. But 3rd and 10, this is some of the danger zone that I said earlier about Michael Pratt. You got to find a way on 3rd and 10 to keep the chains moving. Putting your quarterback into this 3rd and long, got to find a way to get a first down.
He's missed on his last 5 pass attempts, make it 6. So they discover the run game, but the pass game has been broken up now by the Mustangs, and they force the punt.
That's great technique by Armani Johnson, number 5. Just watch him, just taking him, just waiting for his opportunity, and watch the left hand. The left hand is right on the waist, but he knocks it down with the right hand. That's great technique and great patience by Armani Johnson. Number 1, he knew where the sticks were. And when you know where the ball needs to get to for a first down, you deny it, make a play. Good job, Mr. Johnson.
On a 4th and 10. A whistle off the ball here, and a flag. Push him back 5 yards. Tyler Page is the new punt return man here back deep. And Page will take it at his own 12. And Page will hang on and get hauled down out across the 25. Well, week 6 of Monday Night Football will be in the Lone Star State. AT&T Stadium as Kyler Murray returns home to the Dallas area. It's the Cards and the Cowboys. Coverage begins Monday Night Countdown at 6, games at 8 Eastern on ESPN. And Kyler Murray from Allen High School, Texas, a 3-time champ, player of the year in the state. Gaudy numbers that he was able to put up for the Allen Eagles. Then it was a brief stop at Texas A&M before moving on to Oklahoma, where he won a Big 12 championship, a Heisman Trophy, and got to the college football playoff, and now, of course, on to the NFL, the Rookie of the Year last season for Arizona. And Kirk, that's also a homecoming for Andy Dalton, who will get the start for the Cowboys for the injured Dak Prescott. Of course, Andy from Katy, Texas, and TCU collegiately.
Yeah, TCU, he knows about the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And look, the Dallas Cowboys, I know for a fact, watching them last week and what Andy was able to do with, obviously Dak Prescott, being injured, I think Cowboy fans still feel like they got a great opportunity to make some noise in this NFL season.
Ulysses Bentley inching closer to a 100-yard rushing day. They've already got a couple receivers with 100 yards through the air. But after they fell behind 24-17, they've rattled off 10 unanswered to take the lead. And now are looking to convert on their 3rd and 10. Hit from behind, and down goes Buechele. 3rd sack for the defensive unit, and that's Kavaris Hall.
They needed a play defensively, and they got the play. They got the play from the true freshman. You mentioned it, Kavaris Hall coming from the right side, and he's just unblocked. There's nobody there for him, and that's an easy sack for Tulane. You find a way to get the right pressure, you dial it up, and they bring that corner blitz by the true freshman. He brings Buechele down.
And a short kick that will bound out of bounds at the 43-yard line. And now the short field for the Green Wave of Tulane with a flag down.
Illegal motion, offense, 2 men moving at the snap. That 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down, Tulane.
Well, how about Tulane here totally flipping the field? Kirk, they were buried down inside their 10, had to punt it away, and now SMU has helped them out with a poor punt and the penalty. And the officials walking the football inside the 40-yard line. It's 1st and 10 from the 37.
Now Tulane, they have to score on it. They have to find a way to put points on the board on this drive. A touchdown will be great for Tulane right now.
Amari Jones, first down, stepping over a defender for additional yardage. Terrific all-purpose guy. He had over 1,600 all-purpose yards a year ago in his sophomore year. They're going to hustle up here, try and get one more play off to beat the buzzer to end the third quarter, and they do. Pratt, flag is down as he scoots inside the 20.
Illegal motion, offense, it's a 5-yard penalty. First down, 1 untimed down.
So we'll have one untimed down. Through 3 quarters, over 720 yards of combined total offense. 51 points on the board, still 15 minutes to play. One of the biggest upsets in Tulane football history, or will it be SMU getting to 5-0 and keeping their championship hopes alive with a big date against Cincinnati looming next Saturday night in primetime? First and 15. And the handoff will close out the third quarter. 10 unanswered points for SMU to grab the lead, but Tulane knocking on the red zone door as we head to the fourth in New Orleans. 27-24, undefeated SMU on top. But the green wave are lurking as we head to the fourth. Getting set to begin the fourth quarter, 27-24, 17th ranked SMU on top, but Tulane is on the move, trying to take advantage of the short field after the punt. They're now looking at 2nd and 14 for Michael Pratt. Blitz coming right in his face, able to get away from it, buys time, throws towards the end zone, incomplete. A little short on the throw, looking for Jaquan Jackson.
A little surprised by that. Michael Pratt has been deadly accurate when he's been on the run. That time, SMU, they didn't have an edge. Michael Pratt gets to the outside and bought just enough time to get the ball down there and just missed on a possible touchdown. He's been deadly accurate on that type of throw all game.
They're going to need him to warm up, Kirk. He's 0 for his last 7 after he started out so well and had the touchdown pass and the touchdown run.
Now backing them up 5 yards now. Remember, they had great field position. They had the poor punt from SMU. They were right there in business, and now a couple of penalties, and now they're backed up 3rd and 19.
They did not have a single passing yard in that third quarter. Looking for some here early in the fourth. Pratt forced to step up, elusive out of the pocket. Flag is down behind him as he scrambles down inside the 20.
I think this is going to be holding on Tulane. I saw someone right near the center. I think the center or right guard just literally took one of the SMU defenders down to the ground right in front of the official.
Holding. Offense, number 72. It's a 10-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Holding against Tulane.
It's on Trey Tuggle.
Yeah, they get Tuggle, but it happens right there in the front. And
10-yard penalty.
So on the right-hand side, he just takes him all the way down. It happens right there in the official. Quarterback takes off, and you got a handful of jersey and take a guy down. The official's going to call that every single time.
3rd and 29. The penalty's costly here on the possession for Tulane. Pratt looking for somewhere to go. Able to dump it off to Robertson. And he gets him down inside the 30, and another penalty flag flies.
I think we may get the same thing again, Beth. Same thing, similar call again.
Offense, number 58, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And that's the difficult part, especially with Michael Pratt, who can extend plays. If you're an offensive lineman, you don't know where the quarterback is. So you see the defense reacting, and you don't know where the quarterback is. And so again, another costly penalty for Tulane. And there's the hole just right holding on because you don't know what's going on. You see a defender reacting, but he's reacting to the quarterback. The offensive line just doesn't know.
7 penalties now in the second half for Tulane, their 10th of the night. Pratt going up top, has a man behind the defense down to the 10-yard line. Deuce Watts hauls it in.
3rd and 39. This is almost like a punt. You just say, hey, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to make sure I'm just going to put the ball out there and allow my 6'2" wide receiver to just go make a play. First of all, it should never happen for a defender that 3rd and 39 and you allow someone to get behind you. But just a great play call.
Goal.
Just get it.
And they run it with Hutterson right up the gut.
Wow, what a big play, though. 3rd and 39, and you find a way to get it. That's an outstanding throw, but watch the catch. Just finding a way, fading to the outside, even had a little bit of a face mask at the end. That's a big play for Tulane.
Hand fighting the whole way, maintained his balance and his focus, hauled it in. But now 2nd and goal. Pratt delays and heads for the end zone, and he's in. And Tulane will grab the lead to start out the 4th quarter.
You forget that he's a runner when you're down there by the goal line. They spread you out, and then Michael Pratt just says, you know what, if you're going to give me the lane, I'm going to take it. That was a design run. They've been waiting for that play. We always say quarterback get courage down there by the goal line. Michael Pratt showing off the courage, racing for a touchdown.
3rd touchdown of the day for Pratt. And it was the big 42-yard pass play on 3rd and 39 that the Green Wave converts.
First, it starts with the long pass. After you get the long pass, you get the quarterback. The true freshman says, you know what? I don't have to throw it. Let me run it in and show off with my flex.
Damage already done. Welcome to the modern Babylon.
Our 6th lead change of the night hands it to Tulane, 31-27, early in this 4th quarter as they look for their first ranked home win since 1979. They got SMU that year. They're trying to get them again and spoil the 4-0 start for the Mustangs. The scoring drive covered 37 yards, despite the fact they had 30 yards of penalties on that drive. It was a wild one. And now Danny Gray, who's had himself a huge night, will bring it back out for SMU. Speaking of huge nights, tomorrow a dandy for you in the ring, Lomachenko and Lopez. Lomachenko, Kirk, pound for pound, numero uno, while Lopez, at the spry age of 23, the 2nd youngest champion in boxing history. A lot of people think that Mike Tyson was the youngest ever. That would be incorrect. That would be Wilfred Benitez back in the 70s at the age of 17. There's your tail of the tape. Lomachenko, the southpaw. Lopez undefeated. Who you got in that one, Kirk?
I think I'm going to go with Lomachenko, man. I've watched him a couple times already. I think this is a big one for him. I think he takes it. And I agree with you. The experience over the youth. Let's go with experience over youth, right?
Is that where you're going to with quarterbacks here? We've got the experience of Shane Buechele, and again, he finds himself behind the new guy in town. Michael Pratt has been terrific for Tulane, responsible for 3 of their touchdowns so far. And Buechele, despite 300 yards passing, has some ground to make up. The 2nd and 8 throw dropped by Tyler Page, and quickly it's 3rd down.
Yeah, that's a quick first couple downs and not really a lot of yards to go on. But if you think about this, Beth, you have a 5th-year senior in Shane Buechele who's played in some big games throughout his college career. I don't think there's any panic within this SMU offense. They've been in these games. They've been in close games, and that's why you have a quarterback that you know will make the right decision, especially here on 3rd and 8. Danny Gray has been the 3rd down target for Shane Buechele.
Buechele throws it to the outside, and it is hauled in and caught by Rashee Rice. Rice and Gray, 9 catches for over 200 yards tonight.
Yeah, Rice didn't even need 2 hands for this one. He just needed 1. Look, he's got 1 hand wrapped around and the other one just right there. It's a good job of corralling the football, and just the belief by a quarterback, Shane Buechele, on 3rd down, looking to the outside and having his receiver just go make a play.
We'll take a timeout, 12:09 to go here in the 4th.
ESPN College Football is presented by Ram, built to serve.
Ooh, a little Chucky, some pumpkins. Mardi Gras year-round in New Orleans behind the scenes for you, and we've got a good one brewing. And shades of Gray. How about 4 touches for 147 yards, Kirk?
I'm just looking at 3rd down. He's been the 3rd down guy. You throw it to him, you get a touchdown or a big play. I think right now you needed someone to step up for Reggie Robertson, who is out for the season. And Danny Gray has rose his hand and said, you know what, I'll be that guy.
That's big play Gray for 36 yards per touch tonight. And Shane Buechele will run with it and get close to midfield, corralled by Marvin Moody.
Tackled by number 28, Marvin Moody. A gain of 7 on the play. 2nd down and 3 at the 50.
2nd down and 3. And the run will pick up the 1st down. Beth Mullins, Kirk Morrison, Lauren Sisler with you in New Orleans. The first of our doubleheader still to come. Another good one for you. Houston and 14th ranked BYU. And one of the highlights for Saturday will be undefeated in 5th ranked North Carolina taking on Florida State. Glad to see that Bobby Bowden was released from the hospital and is doing better after his contact with COVID, as Rice comes up with another catch. Between Rice and Gray, they've been spectacular on the outside.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Those 2 guys have been outstanding. It's been, you know, somebody had to find that production, and it's been between those 2 guys. And that's, to me, where Shane Buechele will continue to look on the outside.
1 2nd and 5, a big hole up the middle as Tyler Levine bursts through it. You may have seen Rashee Rice limp off to the sideline after that last pass play. The athletic trainers are checking him out right now. Levine will stay in the backfield here with Buechele on 1st and 10. Levine, another big hole up the middle. And a gain of 7.
You know, this is a bit of a concern for Tulane, right, Beth? If you think about it, talking to Coach Fritz this week, he talked about not having that depth that you need late in the 4th quarter. Guys play a lot of plays and a lot of minutes, and you're starting to see right now that Tulane defense starting to look really tired, playing a ton of plays tonight.
66 plays. They have now gone over 500 yards, and Bentley will add a couple more. They've run for 127, and then Gray and Rice, a combined 10 catches for 255 yards.
You know, Tulane, they cut back a little bit at practice this week. They tried to find ways to keep their guys energized, keep them fresh, but right now they get into the 4th quarter and you're starting to see that this SMU offense is really relying on the run game so far in this drive, getting some great push up front.
Bentley breaking a couple of tackles to get to the edge. You saw the frustration up front. They almost had him in the back. Noah Selden couldn't quite corral him.
But you like the flow of this drive, though. It's been run, run, run. A couple of plays throughout the year. But right now, I think they're leaning on the run game.
11th play of the drive coming up. 7 of them so far have been runs. They'll stay that way, and now they're looking at a 3rd down situation. We have not seen Rashee Rice return to the game yet.
If you're Tulane defensively, you need your big guys to step up. We haven't called their names in a little bit, and that's number 5, Cameron Sample, and number 7, Patrick Johnson. The 2 defensive ends. This is where they got to rise and try to find or make a play. Both tight ends up top, giving a long angle for Johnson, the defensive end, to have to get around.
From the 16-yard line, Buechele finds his man, and it's Danny Gray again for a 1st down inside the 10-yard line. Got him on the slant, and Gray held on in traffic.
Beth, who else would it be on 3rd down, right? Who else would it be? It's one-on-one on the outside, and it's just a terrific route from Gray. The patience, sold the outside, and showed enough room for Buechele to get it in there on the slant for a 1st down.
1st and goal, Levine bottled up. Good push again by Jeffrey Johnson. Six lead changes in the game tonight. SMU looking for a 7th. And the push down into the red zone. 2nd and goal from the 10. Couple of tight ends in the backfield with Bentley. Buechele will throw it into the end zone, back shoulder touchdown, and it's Danny Gray. Second TD throw for Shane Buechele, and Gray continues to have a huge night.
It's just one-on-one on the outside, and watch the route. Look, the route by Gray. Just a quick fake hesitation, and it bought just a little bit of time for him to get to the outside, and a terrific thrown ball by Shane Buechele. It was what Gray did at the line of scrimmage, just freezing the defender, freezing the corner, and giving just a nice tight window for Buechele to get the ball in. That's a terrific job by the quarterback and wide receiver, creating some space where nothing was there.
PAT is good. Danny Gray, a rushing touchdown, and now a receiving TD. Hooking up again with Shane Buechele. Back shoulder for the score, and the SMU lead midway through the 4th. (34-31), SMU over Tulane. 7:12 to go in the game. And what a night for Danny Gray. He's been targeted 7 times, caught 5 balls for 133 yards. Everything he's touched pretty much has been a big play of over 20. He also had the rushing touchdown on the jet sweep of 32 yards in that 1st half. And they have the 3-point lead. This is the first game of our doubleheader. What do we got coming up, Matt Berry?
Yeah, Beth, what a fun Friday night we have for you in college football. Zach Wilson and BYU 4-0 for the first time since 2014. They have Houston coming up right here on ESPN in about 24 minutes. Looking forward to it.
Cougars and Cougars coming up. Thank you, Matt. He'll be in the studio with Joey Galloway, Jesse Palmer. And now it reverts back to this young Tulane offense and Michael Pratt running the show. The give here is to Amari Jones. Pratt is the freshman from Boca Raton out of Deerfield Beach High School. Only been playing football since about the 9th grade. One of his high school teammates was his sister Hannah, who is now playing college basketball at Columbia for the Lions in the Ivy League. making just his second career start tonight. And looking for an upset, the likes of which they haven't seen in a while for the Green Wave. Heaves it downfield and it's caught. Fat Watts has it for a first down.
Terrific job by Michael Pratt, because look, he gets out of the pocket and there's look nothing there at all, but he keeps his eyes downfield and waits for one of his guys to open up. And you mentioned it was Watts wide open, just making a play, but the young quarterback keeping his eyes downfield and delivering a strike.
Deuce and Fat, 5 catches for 87 yards tonight. And that's Stephon Hutterson, who has a new career high on the ground, 13 carries, 122 yards. Before that touch for Stephon. Both these teams know about late field goals, late wins and losses. 3-point game down the stretch, out into the flat, a completion and another first down. Out across the 45. Let's check in with Lauren Sisler.
Yeah, guys, so after that offensive drive that Tulane just put up points on the board, 34-31, the Tulane O-line coach, Cody Kennedy, came over to the bench and said, you know, a lot of bad stuff happened during that drive, but guess what? We put the blinders on, we scored. So let's be in this moment right now and go out and win this ball game, and I think that's what they're trying to do here, put the blinders on and get in the end zone.
Well, it would be a huge moment for this offense and could steer them in the right direction for the second half of their season.
Up the middle, tackle by number 50, Richard McBride.
That's what they can lean on too, Beth.
Yeah,
You've got three. Lean on your quarterback.
You got 3, Kirk, right, of the group of 5 conferences playing right now. You're going to have the Mountain West jump in next week. You'll have Maction returning in a couple of weeks. Of course, the Big Ten is back next weekend, and the Pac-12 the week after that. Everybody will be back in play as we continue to deal with the pandemic. On 2nd and 6, a flag down. Penalties have been much more prevalent for Tulane here in the second half. Did not derail them in that last drive as Tulane came up with a huge play of their own.
Personal foul, hands in the face, defense, number 91. It's a 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
They converted a 42-yard pass play on a 3rd and 39 to keep that last drive alive and ended up scoring. And they will be the beneficiaries of this flag. Officials will spot it around the 33. Under 4 to go, 1st and 10. Handoff off the right side for a couple. Tulane has those 2 timeouts left, 3 remaining for SMU.
You got to see how much do you trust the young quarterback, right? 2nd and 9. Now, do you put it in the air or you keep it on the ground, which it had so much success in the second half, especially the quarterback draw is another weapon that they've used here in the second half.
Jones on 2nd and 9 gets right back to the line of scrimmage. You also see that is the field goal target line for Marek Glover, who's long on the year is 41. He has hit from 34 already tonight, but they're not at a point where they're looking to settle for 3. It's 3rd and 9.
Yeah, you mentioned it, but it's 3rd and 9, and it's been some wind that it's picked up in Ullman Stadium. So you got to understand, could this possibly be 4-down territory here if they can't pick it up here on 3rd down? Remember, Michael Pratt can take off if nothing's there.
Just a three-man rush here for SMU. Pratt will throw it downfield, and he's got a man caught for a first down at the 11-yard line. Fat Watts got it.
First of all, the offensive line, look at the protection that he's at. He sits back there, analyzes the defense, and finds Watts dragging across the field. Found the nice seam to get the ball to, and his big play wide receiver, the junior, Fat Watts, pulling it in for a first down.
20-yard pickup for Watts, 1st and 10. And the Twins have now gathered over 100 yards receiving combined tonight. Under 2 minutes to go. Run right up the gut and inside the 10-yard line for Hutterson.
Timeout, SMU.
And SMU now will take their first timeout, thinking they might need some time back on the clock here if the Green Wave can push it across. Back in a moment. Eastern, the main card at 7. Go to ESPNplus.com for the info. And on a 2nd and 7, Tulane will run it up the middle and get stuffed right around the 10-yard line. And SMU, will they call their second timeout? Yes, they will, with 1:46 to go. So let's set the stage for you. SMU is undefeated. They're 4-0. And for the Tulane Green Wave, despite their 2 losses and their young quarterback, they are looking for their first win against a ranked opponent since 1984. Their first one at home since 1979. When we were listening to Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang. There's a look at your kicker, Mark Glover. He has hit one today. 4 of 5 on the season, well within his range right now.
But we get to third down, and it's one of the Watts brothers. Whether it's Deuce, whether it's Fat, it's one of those Watts brothers that you're looking for on third down if you're Michael Pratt.
Pratt thought about Amari Jones out of the backfield. Now he'll have to improvise. Pratt, pressure coming, reverses direction, back outside around the 25 and chucks it out of bounds.
That's a good play.
So that still sets them up back at the 10-yard line, Kirk, on 4th down.
Yeah, it's a good play. He saved the kick. They still have an opportunity to kick a field goal, but you just see some of the athleticism, trying to make a play, didn't find it, threw the ball away. It's a great hole by SMU. They did what they wanted to. They kept a timeout. They're going to get a field goal opportunity here to block it, but still a great job by Michael Pratt trying to make a play and throwing it away.
The field goal to tie it, 27-yarder, and it is good. So that will set up potentially here Shane Buechele and the SMU offense with 1 timeout and 1:30 on the clock to do something about it. And what an effort by Tulane. Back and forth on the roller coaster all night long with their freshman quarterback leading the way. And Glover, his 2nd field goal to tie it.
But this is the moment that you want, right? Shane Buechele, 5th-year senior, transfer from Texas. Been in big games, been in big moments. Last week, a game-winning drive versus Memphis. And now you need your 5th-year senior to rise up again. In the 4th quarter, 1:30 left, 1 timeout. We've set the stage. This is the games. This is the time that you remember in college football. And Shane Buechele on the national stage on a Friday night. This is the drive where you got to make something happen. Get your team set up for a touchdown or a field goal to win it.
Only Ellinger and Lawrence have more touchdown passes amongst active QBs. Don't forget, stick around. We've got another terrific couple of quarterbacks, and Clayton Tune and Zach Wilson coming up next, BYU and Houston. Tulane will elect to boot it deep. And this is big play. Gray gonna bring it out. Gets across the 20 to the 22-yard line. And that does also take 6 seconds off the clock. And Gray may have gotten hurt at the end of that return. Holding his knee as he trots to the side.
That'll be a big blow for SMU if he can't go on this drive. Looks to be he's in the huddle. So hopefully he's okay, Beth, but they need number 5, Gray, who's been their big play target, their big play threat this entire game.
Gray will stay out there and come to the bottom of your screen, and Rashee Rice, he returns underneath. This is caught by Ulysses Bentley. Inbounds, and they only have that one timeout. Their kicker, Chris Nagar, his long this season, 46. He's 2 for 3 on the day today. 2nd 11, they're spying Buechele, so he can't run with it, and he will have to throw it out of bounds, and it's 3rd down.
Nah, 3rd down now. You mentioned it, 3rd and 11. Great job by Tulane, the first 2 on 1st and 2nd down. Look, the first play was just a drive starter. The outstanding job just holding that to a minimal gain. And now here, 3rd and 11. I want to pressure again. Get the pressure again on Shane Buechele. Try to rush him to his right. Get him out of the pocket. Don't allow him enough time to find whether it's Rice or even Gray down here at the bottom, one-on-one.
And now if you're Tulane with the 2 timeouts, you're thinking, let's get a stop and get the ball back for our guys. Buechele rifles it across the middle, 1st down, caught by Tyler Page. And he's inside the 40-yard line, cut down there. And SMU's back in business with 47 seconds to go.
A great protection by the offensive line, and Buechele found his mismatch. It was Page on a safety.
They have been absolutely ridiculous tonight on their 3rd down conversions. And the distance, the yardage they've been picking up on their 3rd downs. Another huge play to move the chains. And SMU will use their final timeout here with 35 seconds to go after that big 40-yard gain.
Just look at the protection, though, by the offensive line, and he got the one-on-one, and that's just an outstanding route. He pressed the defensive back and then cut inside, and the ball's already delivered. It's already thrown, and you've mentioned it all night long, Beth. What have we seen from these SMU wide receivers? It's run after the catch. Run after the catch. Buechele's just got to get them the football, and once they get it, you've seen what they've done with the ball in their hands.
How about that? A 3rd guy now, over 100 yards receiving. Buechele, 384 total with the 2 touchdowns. And he's getting close to back-to-back 400-yard games, but more importantly, inching a little bit closer to the goal line. 2nd and 11 and a tie game. They are now out of timeouts. Buechele. Gray had it. Knocked away. Good coverage there by Macon Clark.
3rd
and it's
11.
3rd down again.
Yeah, you meant 3rd and 11. And obviously, you're just trying to get what? Either half the yardage back, just give you a nice, decent field goal attempt. There goes the target line. They're trying to get there. But again, if I get one-on-one on the outside with Rice or with Gray, that's where I'm looking if I'm Shane Buechele.
At their 2nd start timeout, 30-second timeout.
1 timeout left for Tulane. SMU is 62% converting on 3rd downs tonight, and so many of them have been big plays. And there's Chris Nagar. The Texas transfer wasn't getting a whole lot of PT in Austin. Wanted a new start with SMU. Walked on. Already with a game-winning field goal on the resume. That was Memphis last week for an upset win. Will he get the call again here late to try and keep them perfect on the season?
SMU
he has been good from 48 and 33. He missed one from 45 tonight.
You still got to keep an eye on Patrick Johnson, number 7 on the outside, and number 5, Cameron Sample. Those 2 guys, long down in distance, they got to keep an eye on SMU for that pass rush.
Blitz coming. Buechele gets away from it. The pass downfield, incomplete. With 27 seconds to go, and it's 4th down.
Jack Curtis brought pressure. He brought pressure. But
And here comes Nagar. Kirk, do you use your last time out to try and ice him, or do you need to save it for your possession?
Yeah, I think you save it for your possession.
2 for 3 today.
57-yard field goal attempt.
For the late lead from 57 yards out. On its way, and it doinks off the right upright, and it is no good.
No good. It's the right upright. Okay.
So close from Nagar, plenty of leg. And the ricochet out instead of in, and the reaction from Tulane, they're still alive.
Looked like the snap was low, a low snap that may have just threw the operation off just a little bit for Nagar. Low snap, but still got down. He had the distance, just would not curve inside that right upright.
A miss earlier in the game, and now the miss there. And it's 34-all for Michael Pratt and the Tulane offense. And they'll have to throw it out on 1st down. They do have the 1 timeout remaining. They last celebrated a win against a ranked team at home 41 years ago. They have some late magic here. Pratt, under duress, extends the play. He's going to run with it. A lot of room, sliding down close to the 35-yard line. And Tulane will call the timeout. What a play by Michael Pratt to extend it and get out of the pocket.
Just keeps his eyes downfield the entire time. He's just finding and hoping that he can get a wide receiver to get open. And after a while, he just makes a couple guys miss and then takes off, tucks the football, and gets as much as he can. This is a true freshman at quarterback. Not letting the moment get too big for him. Gets down, the awareness to slide and to set up what could be a game-winning field goal for Tulane.
They will bring Mark Glover out after the 24-yard run by the freshman Michael Pratt to give the Green Wave a chance.
Please reset the game clock to 7 seconds. 007. Thank you.
Are they, well, okay, they're going to reset the clock here to 7 seconds. Does Tulane want to run another play to try and throw it deep, or are they going to keep Glover out there? After Nagar missed from 57, this one a 57-yarder for Tulane for the late lead. And a whistle before the snap as the attempt goes wide right and short.
Full start. Offense. Number 91. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And that will cost them 5 yards to tack on to the attempt, and now a decision here for Willie Fritz. Do you send Pratt back out there?
Yeah, you do. You send him back out there. And look, you got 7 seconds. So what does that mean? You got to get rid of the football early on, get as much as you can, but get out of bounds. That's what they're telling you. You got to get out of bounds. Watch the hard count if you're on defense, because they're going to try to hard count you and steal that 5 yards. But what you're going to do is you got to get out of bounds. No timeouts left. Try to get one play to get just enough yards to get a better field goal.
Pratt, they'll try the quick out, and it's incomplete. 3 seconds to go.
Incomplete, intended for number 80, Tyrick James.
You've seen he's already
for Tyrick
came up
James.
short. They came up short on a field goal, Beth. So I think, again, right now, you just got to throw it to the end zone, right? Hopefully that you get one of the Watts brothers can go up and make a play. You see the 3 receivers down here at the bottom. They're going to try one last play, see if they can get a Hail Mary for a touchdown to win this game.
Pratt with the time. Pass is en route into the back of the end zone. And it is caught out of bounds. So that is the end of regulation. Tulane and SMU heading to overtime tonight in New Orleans. Got some extra football coming your way with the Mustangs and the Green Wave after this.
For you, it has kicked off over on ESPN News. As soon as SMU Tulane goes final here in overtime, we will move that game over here to ESPN. But BYU Houston currently starting on ESPN News.
Well, if it's anything like we've seen the last few nights from the group of 5 and from the Independents, it should be a good one. Coastal Carolina with the big upset of Louisiana. At the buzzer on Wednesday, that terrific Georgia State-Arkansas State shootout last night. And now we've got overtime in New Orleans. Beth Mowens, Kirk Morrison, and Lauren Sisler with you. SMU at 4-0 on the season, and Tulane looking for their first home-ranked win in 41 years.
Tails call. Didn't fail. Okay, you're on defense. Let's play defense down there.
All right, SMU wins that toss. They want to play defense first. Ball will be placed on the 25-yard line. Both sides will have a possession.
That's a true freshman quarterback right there, Beth. You think he's excited to play in overtime? He's over there dancing, he's shaking, he's jiving. He's loving it just as much as we are. Overtime, but look, I think a lot of this overtime period is going to be on the shoulders of Michael Pratt. It's 1-2, and if it's not there on his second progression, he's just going to take off and go. And that's what's been successful, I think, for Tulane offensively.
Well, look at the body language. Remember what his coach, Willie Fritz, was telling us the other day? Body language never whispers. It always is screaming. And he loves the way that Michael Pratt leads and shows his emotion to his teammates. And what a moment for a young man making his second career start. And he will lead things off for Tulane in the OT. They've scored on 5 of their last 7 possessions prior to that last one at the end of regulation, and they will put it on the ground with Stephon Hutterson, who's been getting the job done for them in the second half. He's over 130 yards rushing now, adding to his career high. First possession of this overtime, SMU will have a chance next. Pratt on 2nd and 8, and he's wrapped up and thrown down. Sacked by Delano Robinson, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, what a call by Kevin Kane there on 2nd down. He sends the senior, Delano Robinson, and he's just, no one picks him up. He just goes, and there's no one picks him up, and that's just an easy sack for Delano Robinson, the linebacker, making a big play on 2nd down. Now 3rd and 16. Long field goal if they don't get it here.
Pratt against token pressure, it's intercepted. It is picked off by Brandon Crossley. And a big stop for the SMU defense.
Great drive by Crossley. Just sitting there, he was on the route. Watch the quarterback's eyes.
After the interception,
Got the
during
pick.
the return, foul face mask, number 80. That penalty declined by rule. First down, SMU.
The first takeaway for SMU tonight, and it's a huge one. Crossley.
So on second down, Kevin Kane brought the blitz, the defensive coordinator for SMU, and then watch every defender pretty much, they just dropped in coverage. They were waiting for Michael Pratt to either take off or try to find an open guy, an open window. It was never there. At that time, Crossley just steps right in front, watching the quarterback's eyes. It's a terrific play call by the defensive coordinator, Kevin Kane. Not bringing the pressure, but forcing Michael Pratt to have to find someone. That time, he threw an interception.
So now from the rookie to the veteran, Shane Buechele, and a big moment for him to try and get SMU the win in overtime. Levine's in the backfield with him, and Tyler will keep it on the ground on first down, and a good push for 5 yards. The Mustangs would win it here with a score. Tulane gets the stop, we'd go to a second OT.
And you don't have to get it all in one play, right? You stick within your offense, the first down run, and I would keep it on the ground again. Just keep within your offense. But if I get that one-on-one on the outside with Danny Gurry, who's been my big play wide receiver, I can still take a chance, take a shot, especially here on 2nd and 5. I can still take an opportunity for a big play.
Again, it's Levine off the right side for one more. It'll set up a third down. Their kicker, Chris Nagar, was perfect prior to tonight. He's 2 of 4 this evening. If they cannot convert. They are 10 of 17, though, on third downs.
They're putting the ball in the senior quarterback's hands. Either you're going to hand it off or you allow your senior quarterback to make the right decision to preserve a field goal if no one's there.
They will choose to run it and keep the ball in the middle of the field, and they are short, so it's 4th down. And here comes Chris Nagar. A game-winning field goal against Memphis on October 3rd. And a chance to win it here from 35 yards out for SMU.
Timeout, Tulane.
Ice pack from Tulane.
30-second timeout.
But you notice what happened there, Beth, right? Did you notice right before the timeout was granted? He got a practice kick in, right? He got a practice swing at it just to see what it looks like. Sometimes you just want to make sure that you got the right feel and what it looks like. It looks to be that practice swing, like that field goal went through and it felt good. I think that relieved some of the pressure on the guard. That time, probably this time, again, makes it feel good, knock it right through the middle of the uprights.
Missed on a 57-yarder in the final minute of regulation. And now can Will Benton, Derek Green, the son of Trent Green, and Chris Nagar, can they combine here to get it done for the Mustangs to get to 5-0? Low snap in place, and Chris Nagar splits the uprights for SMU, and they win it in overtime, 37-34. What a job by the holder, Derek Green, to get that ball upright in order for Nagar to kick it through.
Just unbelievable, Beth. Unbelievable. It was a bad snap. But Derek Green picks the ball up, gets it down.
Even spun the laces around, and Nagar knocks it through. What a start to your night and to your football weekend. 37-34, SMU a winner. Now off to BYU Houston with Jason Benetti.